Alright, chat. Guess who forgot to update the Gear Xrd game? Apparently there's an update. Just 1 sec. We'll be good. Oops. Very professional. That's me. I am the professional streamer. It was me all along. It was fine when just before when I was using it, but again, it's like Atrine's been a little bit weird lately. I feel like so. Oh yeah, that could be why. Fancy VPN. It's done in a second. You know what? I'm just gonna hop in here. What's up, guys? Hello.
What's up? Are we live?
We are live.
Okay. just making sure. Oh my god, it's evil lapses.
Evil lapses! Oh no! It's evil! Actually, the mustache just seemed kind of menacing, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
in evil mode.
I am here to steal all of your trophies. But it's good to be back, which is the most important part.
Let me just. There we go. We got good lapses. Orders restored. My game has installed. All right, take it away, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, just another chill little Monday's Strive bracket happening right after the UFA action. So, understandably, we don't have the crazy amount of signups. People are just traveling home. Have had their possibly have had their fill of Strive for the time being. But that being said, still some nice big names pulling up for the action here. Although I do see PataChu going down to IndoorTurtIe, which was not on my bingo card. So
yeah, that wasn't mine neither. UFA top 8 and still coming here grinding Salty and Turtle saying, "Well, I'm going to take your spot." That's something.
Yeah. I think IndoorTurtIe is looking at all these people with like the YoKai tag, being like, I'm the only one missing out on a group. We gotta turn up. We gotta fix that. But I'm seeing, I was kind of glancing at the bracket as it was developing, and let me get that top 32 view going, because of course I gotta keep my eye out for any and all Dutch people. And it was interesting seeing Pieta seeded second. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it to qualify into the top 8 this time around. So ace seeding falling off, question mark? Only time will tell.
I will say that probably, because if we are seeing a good amount of upsets in terms of numbers. A couple of interesting developments, as we said before. IndoorTurtIe, then Son beating Shocker, but 4th to a 5th seed, that can happen. But apart from that, some other interesting things are happening here.
Pierre was cooking last week. No, that's very true. The Netherlands fell off. We never were up. We're below sea level, actually, so there's not much to fall from. We're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, you're working to go even lower, pumping at more sea.
Exactly. But yeah, we got as you mentioned. I mean, Son's been on the up and coming, right? Like slowly but surely, the seeding is starting to match the work that he's putting in. I think 5th is a very comfortable medium he has acquired so far. And of course, the likes of IndoorTurtIe being 8th, whereas I think it's been a minute since I've seen this player in the top 8, and then let alone Salty, I think. It's been a while.
I
Anyway,
agree on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree on that. It's been a good been a good while since I've seen their name pop up. Even I mean it. I am not that active in a sense that I am doing every single week tournaments, but still, it's been a good while since I've seen Turtle's name.
Yeah, true. But as I keep looking at this, right, like the interesting part about a post-major Salty, especially because it's like, it's the Monday, right? Everybody's still just getting back, or might still be traveling back and whatnot. You get to see some very interesting figures. You typically don't get too much opportunity to witness play on stream throughout the main bracket, right? Like, of course, like Ace gives the chance to newcomers to appear during the sort of the earlier, I guess, pools section of the stream, like the pre-top 8. And then as it develops, you start seeing more familiar faces, and then they get their spotlight. But now, right, we get to shine a more consistent spotlight on some people that will maybe get like 1 or 2, or maybe not even a single appearance. Might be their first time. We will see. We will see.
Certainly, but apart from that, we have our first match, as we said before, Turtle versus Son. Second match it still needs to be decided. It's a YoKai team kill, Resil versus Fabs. Interesting what's good.
They do it to themselves. They have a lot of players.
Yeah, it's true. When you float a 40-something people tournament with like at least 7 or 8 people, bound to happen.
It's bound to happen. Yeah, at the same time, we are still also waiting on the loser side to just kind of wrap it up into their top 8. We see Shinky just before, waiting on the winner between Lemming and Tenta to face off at a chance in that top 8 loser side. Volta and Taurus in a similar position, waiting on the loser of 82, which would be
that's going to be an immense team kill on the YoKai side.
Yeah, back to
Volta
back.
versus Furrito, and now Volta versus one of them. Damn.
It is what it is. And PataChu is waiting between Scatter was taken or Zandarino for a chance to that top 8 seat, and we're just waiting on YoKai versus Shocker versus Joe the Conductor for as a potential opponent to PataChu, should any and all make it to that top 8 slot. But first, like you mentioned before, we have IndoorTurtIe versus Son, and I see IndoorTurtIe hovering the Unika as, if I'm not mistaken, they used to play Asuka, right?
I think maybe I am the one that's broken inside, but didn't Turtle play Angie? Or someone like that? That's why I told you, it's been a good while, but I know, Viken. Oh, then neither of us.
Okay, my fault. Thank you, everyone. Okay, but well, it's interesting to see the Unika come out then, or hopping off the platform, maybe a character swap.
Let's hope it's just only that. Both players are off.
There's mentions of like high ping being shown off in the lobby, so not too hopeful. Yeah, I mean, wait. I hope Son isn't playing from Vietnam. But nevertheless, right, we got IndoorTurtIe and Son here. So IndoorTurtIe rocking the Unika, Son on the Ramlethal. Ramlethal taking a few quite heavy hits in the nerf department, but still, Son, a true believer, always putting in the work on his character, and when he does get his hands on you and can start working off of those sword specials to set up, especially on the mid screen, right? He has a very devious left-right mix-up to catch you off guard with. It's almost like the character didn't really get changed at all.
Well, Arxis does giveth, Arxis does taketh. Some things are still there, some things are unplayable, but I mean, it's quite interesting. You're facing a character that's also as oppressive as can be Unika. We all know, get into the corner, never get out of there again. And Ram, remember, no reversals. This is a button check, testing things.
Yeah, there had to be a connection test, but that gives us more time to talk about this matchup a little bit more, because I think one of the benefits that Ram does like to enjoy, especially in a round start situation, right, with having both swords ready to go, is that far slash and heavy slash, right, being far-reaching normals. But at the same time, Unika does have the ability to play within that range, and even then, she can play a little further away thanks to her projectiles. I am interested to see how that interacts with the likes of Sword Summon.
But I don't know. Usually the swords are very high level attacks, so they should go through. And if Son manages to catch any of the fireballs, there it's going to be good for them. But I don't know. It seems like we're going to have a slight problem. Ice is stepping onto the plate to do a small check.
Yeah, he's gonna do a bunch check, because now it's a question of verifying: is there is it one player that's causing an issue, or is it just the routing between these two being particularly unlucky?
We'll need to see, but for now, as we are seeing, is not that many rollback frames, as in none. Ping is good.
Yeah, stable. Can't complain.
No. And also a perfect against Turtle. Oof, Isk is too good. Please nerf him.
Yeah, this no wonder that people locked him in this TO chamber, right? You wouldn't want this menace unleashed on the streets of Strive. Look at this. Has Son completely clueless, walking forward into the close slash far slash cancelable combo, just an absolute beast on the Axel. I think he's gonna get ready to claim his next victim. Son is being demoted off of the plate, and IndoorTurtIe is gonna be up next. And also, the connection here seems to be fine, at least from the indicator on screen. So it could just genuinely be an Arxis moment where these two players just have unlucky routing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit worse, but 40 something one frame of rollback is playable. So
what matters most is it's not how many rollback frames you have, it's more so the ping stability. Because if that starts spiking, then you also have rollback frames that go with it. So it's adjusted appropriately to the connection distance and the quality overall. But being that it's one rollback, also a similar ping count, not much to complain.
No, it's pretty stable. I mean, I remember, I think last week I played against it was a Scatter for some reason. And if you don't know, we are both in the Iberian Peninsula. We had to remake at least a game entirely because that shit was unplayable. So, I mean, we all know that this game is swingy, even though it's a modern game. But for some reason, routing can be swingy at best.
Yeah.
So for now, we are saying that the connection can be good. So let's try again the players, see if if some of them are getting some jitters, something's not feeling right. I don't know.
I forget what the hidden bag of tricks are for Strive players to try fix up the connection. I think one of the plays at hand is to be able to go and have one of the players do the hosting instead. So it we'll see who takes that offer up. Oh, actually, I've never done it. IndoorTurtIe's like, oh, I'll do it. Oh, wait, never mind. I've never done this before. Yeah, see if that fixes the problem. In the meantime, the loser side of the bracket is slowly developing. We see Shocker has made it over Joe the Conductor, being in one of the losers' top 8 slots. PataChu is still waiting on a very long match between Zanderino and Scatter was taken. Fabs will be facing off against Volta and Torres, as it was Resil that won 3-2 in the end. Pretty close, actually, sending Fabs down. So that will be Resil on the winner side facing off against Yoish after we managed to get this IndoorTurtIe Son game online. Shinky still waiting on an opponent between Lemming and Tenta. So still some mystery there.
And there's still a bit on the mystery, but the lads at YoKai is putting a good representation in this top 8. I mean, it's already Resil is locked top 8. Another YoKai is locked on Fabs and Volta and Shocker. So 3 people there for a team that's a really good representation. 3 out of 8.
Yeah, I do wonder what their goals are long term with because they aren't sort of like a very hard way to put it is like a Mickey Mouse club. They're not that, right? Because from what I understood when I asked Sir Kappa about this way back was that they do have a selection process between who they determine to allow in, and it's not always just let's get the cream of the crop in, because I mean any team would want that. They do accept a wide variety of skill levels in, but it's still vetted.
Yeah, I remember once I was commentating with them, and yeah, told me, for example, Resil got into the club more in terms of idea of kind of a project to help develop people. So they are betting people, but they also have in their minds that to keep people growing, to develop people, develop players. An interesting situation. Okay.
Yeah, that's very aspirational. I think if you have the time and means to sit down and help out some other players, especially as a team, it can be very rewarding. It could also go horribly wrong, which is when a team starts actually staking monetary investment into their players. Not a risk they're all too willing to take. Nevertheless, we got IndoorTurtIe and Son. It finally seems the connection between these two has been resolved by one of the players just simply hosting the room. And we're going to finally get into this action after these intros.
Gotta respect them.
Do we?
Only the first game. After that, it's a free country, my friend.
Yeah, this definitely looks like a lot more like gameplay. So, bit of dancing around from both sides, trying to leverage their long range promos, but immediately Son going off, baiting that DP. And IndoorTurtIe does not want to see what Son has in plan for him, so goes for the instant burst, but it's still Son that managed to get the approach nevertheless and pushes him all the way to the corner.
Exactly, and now you are on Ram's territory. One shot's already locked there, and Turtle loading the Arbalest. Oh, beautiful 6p again onto the corner, but managing to escape. Turtle, and now putting some good pressure onto Son, but oof.
Yeah, that's a lot of hurt here, especially with the meter on the table. Not going to be enough to kill. Sadly, a lot of the wall has already been damaged, so to say, but just the simple cat scratches off the instant air dash will be enough for Son to secure that first round. Well, the burst situation could be a little better, having done a late burst, but nevertheless, right round lead. Should things go wrong, you will have more than enough time to get that back.
Yeah, burst is secured either way. Advantage in bar, which means that any poke can be difficult, and oh, nasty mix-up could not convert it fully, but still, that was a situation, but oh.
Yeah, there was a vision on the side from Son, so I do really like Turtle was like, let's not. Deflect shield push you away from whatever gimmick you're trying there.
Unika's pressure is so goddamn obnoxious there.
It's big, it swings hard, and if you get hit by it by accident, you explode. But fight against the wall, doesn't have enough meter, but still enough to kill off of the special. Son taking that first game win just as IndoorTurtIe's burst comes back up, so feels a little unlucky there in that regard, but sometimes luck is what you need.
I mean, it's part of the game at the end. It's not hard-coded, you can't hard-code luck, but you always need to be lucky.
Pretty hard to get luck. Just boot up the cheat engine, you know what I'm saying?
Then you are not hard-coding luck, you are hard-coding drugs, the games.
I mean, they added ethical hacking in Strive, right, with the release of Lucy.
That's true. Well, I wouldn't say ethical, you are not consenting to get hacked.
That's fair. That's fair. Right, good mash out, doesn't want to hold any of the stagger pressure from IndoorTurtIe, has him locked into the corner, tries to deflect shield away, but gets chunked for the process. Instead, air backdash JS for that late overhead and a simple wall break, but just look how at the life deficit here that IndoorTurtIe has to work back from.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of a task, but the pressure is good, but not Son. Those escapes, almost a Houdini at this point.
Well, certainly, I'm very brave as well to press on some of these situations. I think taking a sort of like weighing up the options, right? Looking at what is IndoorTurtle actually staggering me with, and how are these frame traps being developed? It's all some very light normals that, should the guess go wrong, it's not too punishing. But something like that mix, oh my goodness.
Nasty, and now Turtle again, a lot of work ahead of them. Mortovado, it's blocked. Let's see the punish against the wall. Immediately going for the overdrive.
I like it, right?
Let them put, yeah.
Just keep it short, especially with the burst available, like you're about to say. But finally, it comes out in the end, a hero burst-esque type situation. But IndoorTurtle is also very much on the low end of the health total, so there's a good chance that Son can clutch it out right here, right now, and extend his lead. Big win on the footsie's angle. Tries the DP, but the explosion catching IndoorTurtle, and that's going to be a 2-0 for Son right now.
Those ram explosions, they nerfed those explosions and they are still a pain in the ass.
Yeah. It's just the whole thing, I think, that makes her just very difficult to deal with or properly put down. The fact that she has this bit of disjointed pressure in her kit, and the setup that Son goes for when he has these swords deployed on you, especially in the corner, and also in the mid screen now, thanks to the diagonal sword, right, from way back. It's just something you don't quite nerf unless it's like you absolutely gut the timings on those.
Yeah, and meanwhile we are seeing Son putting good pressure onto Turtle. Scatter, thank you for that raid, which sadly means that you... we are not talking about that, but thank you very much for all you people that were enjoying Scatter's gameplay. Keep on for the top 8, it's looking kind of nice.
Alrighty, so that leaves Son on set point right now. Playing at a footsie angle, has IndoorTurtle a little shook, right? Look at you taking a very defensive approach, finally willing to press a button. Son is just trying to say like, hey, can you do something? I'm trying to whiff punish here.
I mean, spacing on foots is something that any RAM player is going to enjoy playing at. Those ranges are nasty, swords are good, and Turtle is not having their best day right now. That's a lot of pressure, good couple of checks. The Rock still trying to put some pressure, trying to poke a little bit Son, but it's looking kind of difficult. Not even SaltyEU is going to save Turtle at that point.
3-0 there from the side of Son, looking very much in control, and also very much like the conductor of the entire neutral, right? We did see IndoorTurtle try a few things here and there, but overall not really working out. I might have felt a little lost at what to do. When is it exactly his turn to shine or make a play? And it never came to pass, even when he was just trying to sit down and analyze it. Why is IndoorTurtle posting the 6p hitbox?
Yeah, it's an interesting hitbox. I think I've seen worse.
Yeah, probably not hard to see worse out there.
But either way, which we are sending Turtle on to losers. There's still a chance for them. That's going to be against the winner of Shinki or Fabs. But we need to take into account our first YoKai representative choice versus Resil.
Yeah, I mean, for last remark for IndoorTurtle, right? It's like they got into this winner's side beating PataChu 3-2, so being able to see them have another chance later in the loser's side would be interesting to be able to see what was it that they were able to do to send PataChu down, right? And also just achieve that winner's side top 8 entry. So curious to see for that. But like you mentioned before, right, we got Yoish and Resil coming up next. And Resil has like been talking, or like last I talked to Resil was like crossover, where he was like, I'm so close to getting Dizzy to work, and that was before the patch, right? And then they gave Dizzy a lot of buffs. I haven't caught him playing it yet, so but I'll be interested to see if it's anything within sort of the lines of what he'd hoped to see for the character, and or if he still has to like keep developing the technology necessary to actually make the character functional, or is he just gonna stick to Bedman?
I think Bedman right now is not a bad choice either way. So, and also your winners top 8. You have one whole series of trying around if you like. So maybe we can see the DC for a moment. Not feeling that. Stick to Bedman. You still have losers. It's a way to think that there's still time. There's still room to maneuver. But yes, I mean, his Bedman's the best in the continent, I think. So it's never a bad choice.
It most certainly isn't. And into a character like Zato, there's definitely like angles of play that can make it very. I mean, in general, right? Like you have the borderline occurrence in Strive where momentum of characters is very strong. Not too many characters have meatless reversals, so when they do end up being stuck into the corner, they only can rely on the system mechanics to try and escape. And Zato is really one of those characters, especially with the fact that he has no metered reversal either, that he really does have to. So like YRC is the name of the game, deflect shield, bursting, what have you. And these are all, I mean, they're good. They're good tools, especially the YRC buff, right? Getting the push block away from, like pushing the opponent further away. Although I think even a character like Zato would rather appreciate them a little closer. Deploy Eddie, start getting a little pressure going. You can get left, right going as well off of it. Push them back into the corner that you might have come from, etc., etc. But I think where Eddie might have a little bit of struggling, or sorry, Zato, is when Resil will decide to just go, I'm just going to be zoning now for a bit. Just keep shooting those nails and thunderbolts, and you just sit there and pray that Eddie doesn't get tagged in that process.
We'll need to see, but for now we are seeing the bet on Skin is going to be locked down, so it's going to be the Bedman. So yeah, we'll need to see how it's developing. I don't hope it's going to be a zoning game, because if you want to play zoner, play Axel, you coward. But apart from that, let's see some pressure there. For now, Joyce already tagged, very aggressive.
Yeah, very, very aggressive indeed, right? 2 white wild assaults, using all that burst gauge just to get right up close and personal. Talking about that momentum, we're already getting the install here, getting that wall break, and thanks to the super, right? Even on the install, the projectiles all count as super hits. So gets that hard knockdown, tries to catch it with a big old explosion, but expertly navigating around. Yoish now has him in the blender, taps him with the 5D, catches him not watching his head, and a good stagger pressure. No conversion though.
No, that's something last time I seen. Zato's, I think, still have problems getting a lot of conversions. Straight hits, yes, but good hits, not that much. And well, Bedman is a god in terms of pressure, and now Joyce go for the yellow. Still having access to boost. The white assault is meh. That was a little bit too aggressive there.
Yeah, I wonder what the idea was from Resil on that side, because maybe he was hoping that it would interact differently into the opposed, or the opposed would just run out. Nevertheless, Yoish has him locked into the corner, gets the command grab, a little bit of damage, gets that Eddie gauge back up to party with, deploys him out. Time for undisputed mix-ups, 2 overheads, snatches up again, and we get Eddie recovered once more for another cycle.
Yeah. Now deflection trying to buy some space, but it is still alive. The pressure is still good. The tap, and there is your conversion. Among Us, and on to the next game.
Very nicely done. A perfect to go with it as well. Very tricky there for Resil, right? Like deflect shield, but doesn't take Eddie with him. So you're all that, and you're still stuck. it's actually the most tag fighter-esque thing, right? Seeing like this weekend with all the 2x KO action that the same happenings occur, right? Where the hit that you push block will be on the character that was hitting you. So if you push block and assist, it doesn't matter. The point character is still right in your face. So enjoy all that.
Yeah, certainly. And now we've seen a little bit of a zoning attempt, but those drunkard shades, those opposes, on point by Yosh, and again, pressure onto the corner. Eddie is back. There's the confirm. Another burst, forced, and Ninjaker. Yosh opposes as of right now have been sublime, even though now it's being comboed to death, but
They have been very good. Although in the last interaction we did see that Resil was doing what he could to basically force out the pose, get the take of arm gone, and then just be able to shoot it away. This time though, Pose not be able to do anything into the super, now getting harassed at a range, being slowly but surely pushed into the corner, sets up for the throw, and gets the kill. Resil now with a chance to tie up the scoreboard.
indeed, but Yoshi's burst is going to come up in a second. Meanwhile, there is your corner combo. Pressure is on. Eddie is now exhausted, but
That's a crazy mix.
Eddie recovers fast. Yeah, crazy mix, lots of damage.
Yeah, but it's still going to be Resil that finds the turn, although Yorsh not too agreed with that. Does let the burst rip. Massively deploys Eddie forward with the opposed catching the trade attempt to deny Eddie. YRC though will definitely clean it up, but jump back air to air does not let Resil leave the corner just yet. Uses the sword super to recover the gauge, but a beautiful jump in is going to deny all of that Eddie meter, and now Yorsh is being dragged to the corner, but still, again, just able to move slightly outside of these hits, finding his own hits to go with it, and catching the backdash. Yorsh 1 round from extending his lead.
I like the way that Resil escaped the situation. Usually after some point, either you try to kill Eddie as fast as possible, but getting out is difficult. Usually the Zatos try to block the air route. Good job there, even though didn't win the round, and now putting Yosh again into the blender. Another grab, has meter to go for the install if need be.
Like the
And there
deflection
it
to
is.
try and push away, but yeah, the install, catching the jump attempt, doesn't get the full combo, but it's a very difficult situation for York to escape. The air movement from Zato isn't all too geared at escaping the corner, and instead, right, with just all the projectiles that Resil can deploy on the ground level, meaning that that area is off limits, all you have is the air left. He can prepare himself for that anti-air, as he just did. So Resil brings it to 1 apiece.
Even though it is true that the air is a difficult space for Zato to travel, Bedman is also not that well equipped to deal with those altitudes, in a sense. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if it's like really high, max height, then yeah, I can see it. But if you were at just like the first jump, there's an easy way for Resil to just jump and press JS, tag you with that absurd normal.
yeah, that's true. But we see Mika, but right now, very even game. Now it's Yoshi's time to put Resil onto the blender. There is one command grab. Eddie is back again.
Ooh, the Resil mash, get it out, put it back to the mid-screen situation. Got an error lined up, able to get Yorsh panic a little bit, using the YRC to create a little bit of space, but the freak 6B hit there. Able to put Resil back on top, Bedfall blocked out, but not that second overhead. Misses the... A little sus there, but still gets the wall break.
I mean, if it gets the wall break, I don't think it's that sus, but yeah, not the intended interaction, but still the intended result. Now Yosh, okay, trying to poke Resil in the corner, and oh, that was a bit too much overreach from Yosh. Resil just doing the classic.
Position to be able to take the lead over in this set. However, is already locked into the corner of the opposed, denying any sort of press attempt. Does find a little extension there thanks to the Wild Assault, and just going for small stray hits here while waiting for the Eddie gauge to recharge, and just like that, the pressure continues, has to block it out for the time being, and jumps away from the command grab attempt, but the air throw to put him back in. We are not done yet. Tries to backdash on the normal, but still able to get the cancels going. Wall splat, not enough meter for a super to get the hard knockdown, but still Eddie gauge is full. The burst is available for Resil, but would he want to use it with this low of a health? No, we're going to be saving it for the final round of Game 3.
Exactly, save it. There was no need for any hero burst. That was almost done and dusted, and now Yoish trying to get the oppose near Resil. Ed is no long for these wallers right now. It needs to be recharged. But oh, big pickup. Deflect is not enough, and there's another opening. Even going for the sandbox. Get the refresh, get the Eddie, get the knockdown, positive. All the good things that came with the Barbaric, and ooh.
Yeah, beautiful bait on the YRC. Sadly, not enough damage to get the kill off the super, but a pixel health, positive beat a bonus. Tries to deflect shield away, just barely getting the mash before the overhead could connect. Sun Void wants to lock him down, does escape, but the 6P finds its mark, and Yoish will be the one extending the, or taking the lead back, actually, making it 2-1 against Resil.
Yeah, that wasn't a good situation for Resil. Pixel health, Yoish with full tension gauge. There was a moment that you can just say send an Among Us or the Sunvoid if need be. Difficult situation there, but this means that we have Yoish in one game for winners finals. That's a good position to be there.
Absolutely. I mean, I wasn't too familiar with exactly who showed up at UFA. You know, of course, a lot of Strive players, but Resil being there, having to do all this traveling, especially going back to Osheret, so that's a pretty it's a decent flight. Might be a little tired here, but of course trying his best as always, and Yoish just seems to be super on point, which is beautiful to watch. Does get the reversal super out there, beating out the close slash attempt. Backdash getting called out, has one last chance here to play in this round. Finds the air-to-air hit, finds yet another counter hit, but the conversions are a little lacking still though. Able to push Resil all the way into the corner, has a bit of Eddie to play with, but gets tagged out, and the anti-air goes for the hero burst, but gets anti-aired for it nevertheless.
Little Torres is wanting to get the job done, Josh. That's not the way that you should play. I mean, Zato is a character that can be aggressive, yes, but you need your setup. Be a little more patient. Okay, trying to oppose, but those firewalls finding their mark.
Float outside. I do like the float from Yoish, right? Just trying to stand right above Resil's head, because anti-air is a forward motion, so if you can just be in a slightly awkward spot that they have to guess which way they have to press the button and then end up misinputting it, that's what you're looking for.
I mean, it's the classic. Zato wants to be on top of your head, because what are you going to press? What button? Not even a generic anti-air is going to work. And then which back?
Here we go. Yoish now on set point here against Resil. Resil is coming up close to his burst. Yoish a little ways away from his own, but already is starting to be in control. Interesting little mix-up there. Does tag the backdash attempts from Resil. Has him locked in the corner now.
In the corner against the grinder that is Zato there with Eddie Bar to spare and to that's relentless.
Yeah.
Deflection just is going to buy some space, but the amount of damage dealt is already there.
Yeah, but now, oh no, just barely misses the conversion. YRC cuts the pressure short, does not want to let Resil have all that fun. Deflect shield at 10, but again, it does not push Eddie away, so it's still Yoish in control of the pressure. Let's try to fly out, catches an anti-air attempt going straight into the Amogus. Is it enough to kill? It will be, and Yoish be moving on forward 3-1 against Resil.
And this is one of those results that 3-2 would have been a bad situation either. That was a very even game, but sadly, this means we're going to send another of the YoKai gang onto losers. And an interesting winners finals. I don't think I've ever seen this one. Sun versus Yoish.
Yeah, this is I mean, again, like I mentioned earlier, it's one of the wonderful things of a post-major Salty is that you get a little less signups than usual. Not the usual high-level suspects. They all take it easy, right? Had a very hard weekend before them, and that gives opportunity for some other players who typically sort of teeter out before the top 8 mark, so like your top 32s, top top 16 type players. Now to be able to make it all the way into the top 8 and get their time in the sun, being on full view on streams, such as the likes of Fabs as well, who that is a name I have never seen.
I think I've seen that, but in the tournament sheets, the challenges, not in the stream matches. But you know what's a name that you've seen a lot of times and you will continue to see?
Shinky.
No, the Macherino one.
Ooh. Yeah, me.
Yeah, had to try to do something like that. But yeah, remember everybody, we have those Macherino codes, exclamation point Macherino. Price pool is right now $22.75. But we can still get more. Only 11 codes claimed as of right now. Yes, 39 out of 50 remaining. So please, everybody, go claim your code. Exclamation point Macherino on chat. There's the link. No sign up necessary. Everything is just ready to go, so go there, claim them codes. It's good for everybody, especially the players.
We're running a little behind on the code claims, of course, because it is only a top 8 stream. Normally we have the rest of the bracket as well to be shilling this out, so we're not going to be getting too many opportunities to shill it out, and we hope that y'all hop in quick here, get this sorted so that we can focus on the action at hand. Just waiting on both players to hop on the setup. I see Wee-Woo has entered the room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold up. Is this a Zato mirror?
Okay.
Is it?
I mean,
No, okay,
Shinky
no.
plays Zato.
No, okay. Shinky plays Zato.
Fabs.
Fabs plays
going-
Jacko, it seems.
Jacko, yeah. Okay,
So-
everybody repping the Vanquisher status. That ranked mode did a really
Both
good
on
job.
the green too. I mean, what other comparisons are there? Both are puppet characters or puppet-esque, and has
Well-
very, very suffocating and hard to interact pressure.
One is neon green, the other is just pale green.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
I
the
wouldn't...
Fabs is trying to challenge here, making sure that Eddie can't be deployed, but the risk you do run is that, of course, it's disjointed from Zato, so he has a window to get a whip punish on you.
Yep. Still, good pressure there with those 2Ds. Those are made in hell. If you are someone and then beautiful catch with the minion against the wall. And immediately going for the Uber extra pile driver.
Ooh.
Imposing running. Maybe deciding to go for a maskless Jacko. I know it's just cosmetic, but it's always nice to see her without the mask.
True, I forget that you could do that, take the mask off, but nevertheless, stuck in this corner. We're going straight into the Amogus. Interesting choice for Super here. Try and push the damage instead of going for the Sun Void to recover. They'll get the hard knockdown with the advance on forward, keep the pressure. Yo, hold up. No, just really just block this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Still, it's safe, Super.
I agree on going for the raw damage. Jacko, what reversal does she have? The super, and that's it. So if there is no tension gauge, it's just free damage.
Supposedly. Alright, good block on tap does, but the second one, watch your dome.
Downstar trying to set out some minions, but that minion that's ready is just too much. Immediate burst, trying to get some space. It is not there, and we have only what, 1 million in the reserve, 2 actions.
Yeah, start charging up pretty well though. We have all these minions out on the field. We're trying to control the positioning of Shinky. Good movement there from Fabs to make sure that Shinky does not escape the corner without their permission. The dunk now here, and look at the damage that's being pushed as well as the health deficit. Both players pretty good on meter, but it's going to be Fabs who's going to be getting that a lot of attention thanks to that positive meter bonus, meaning that they can keep up the pressure for much longer. YRC baited, and that is going to be Fabs taking that first game over Shinky.
I mean, that was a very even game, but the moment is that both characters are so focus-driven, so snowbally. We are seeing it, one bad poke, and it's an immediate torrent of pressure. you get a Pokke and immediately all the minions started hitting you. Fabs is just doing the sickest combo ever, and same in Shiki's side. Eddie attacks you, you are done for at least half a life.
Yeah, I mean, what I do like from Fabs is that he, especially when like Shinky's trying to take to the sky, had a goober deployed on the ground and immediately went up to the sky to throw one at him. Says, "We're gonna put you into this contraption, son, and we're gonna see stuff that has never been done to a person be done to you right now."
Yeah, that's true. Try to secure both earth and the air. Master the elements, my friend. And... okay, that minions get through a 6p.
Yeah, probably to the tail end of it, right? The block on the tap dust, just able to avoid the rest of the mix-up. Shinky does deploy the Amogus, and it does have a bit of pressure. Able to tag Fabs, nonetheless, has him tied down, but the Goober Send able to beat out Eddie at the same time. We use the RC, trying to get Shinky as close to the corner as possible, but there is the DG strike throw, air backdash. The mix-ups are nice, and should we be able to set up for the kill here into the super? Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Fabs on a landslide.
That's death. I mean, but with those minion placements, just nasty. We've all been on the receiving end of Ajakos just sending minion after minion saying, I am going to be on pressure for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, absolute chef's kiss. We see Shinky trying to attempt a backdash, doing anything to escape the situation, but it's not enough. Gets snatched up once again into the super, gets the wall break, and down to possibly one good hit here before the round ends, and especially with the Goobers being able to be deployed. Fabs could take it slow, but does find the air-to-air. However, the jump-in is not anti-aired, and that is Fabs now 2-0. The YoKai project seems to be working out nicely here.
Yeah, all hail YoKai at this point. But I agree, I mean, and to be fair, the minion throw is a very interesting tool in a sense. The arch is so high that not is opposed even hitting that?
I think what we see Shinky do with the pose is more so to push Eddie forward, and then he wants to try and snipe with the leapfrog. We've seen that sequence come out once, and it has worked to put Fabs into the corner. But other than that, you know, you have to be very careful, especially when setting out the Eddie, because it's all a timing thing where if it is Fabs that's able to deploy Goober faster and also get it forward, could end up tagging Eddie in the deployment phase.
Oof. Bad situation for Shinky forcing a burst right and now. Bad situation. Oh, that tag, another one, and just send the damage. But that rebound was unexpected.
Yeah, able to get the chase down, and Fabs now on set point over Shinky. Not what we had expected, but a very welcome surprise indeed. As he's setting up the minefield for Shinky to land in. Does survive for the time being, but gets a weird hit there that does lock him down into the corner. Fabs is backing away here, trying to let the Goobers do the work, but just absolutely sends it in and gets that close slash going. Slowly but surely, air throw puts Fabs into the corner for action.
Yeah, apparently the way to beat Jaco is just run forward.
Sometimes you don't want to run straight into a soccer kick Goober. With the right read and conditioning, you can just run forward, yes.
I mean, obviously, don't run when she's kicking someone in the head, but apart from that, Shinky managing to find a little bit respite, but once again, Fabs putting Shinky onto the corner, pressure relentless, 2 bars of tension for that Jaco.
Will only need that 50 tension to go with. That is Fabs taking it 3-0 over Shinky in a very, very dominant performance. Looked very tough for Shinky to actually get his footing down, but even then, when he was running that pressure, Fabs, eyes glued to the monitor, was able to react to most of what Shinky was throwing out.
Yeah, I mean, the Jaco matchup isn't fun for anyone, I think. Too many things on the screen. But Zato, that Eddie's popping like a balloon. I am not enjoying that.
Yeah,
but still, kudos to everybody.
Certainly. Very, very tough. It does look like a tough matchup for Zato. One of those that you have to play it like a sort of a higher executional, cleaner level than your opponent does for slightly less reward. But that's how some matchups go, right? Like sometimes the tools at their disposal just means that they can do overall, or they only need to do overall less compared to what your character might have to.
I mean, it's the sad truth of fighting games. Not all characters are made equally. Some are just made to bully people, and well, Jaco is made to bully people. 4v1,
Sadly.
depending on how. Yeah. But
up next, we do have PataChu versus Shocker. So, in a very shocking state, we do see seed 1 and 4 out here in losers. One of the first games of losers top 8, meaning that there are no second chances for either of these players. This is all they have, and if it doesn't work out here, that's it. Top 8 finish.
Yeah. PataChu coming up from the top 5 at UFA. Very strong performance. Bracket was kind of nuts. So, good job there. And Shocker repping Axel.
As always.
Another YoKai man. Let's see, because Shin is not a fun matchup. Even though it can be done, it's still not a fun matchup.
Yeah, we'll see though. With of course some. Oh, hold
A.b.A.
on. That is a sight I have not seen in a while. PataChu on the Elphelt did hop into the lobby with the Shin character, but going for the swap nevertheless. I felt like, you know, it was still a decent. It was a decent matchup for Shin to play into Axel, right? You do have some tools to beat out on a lot of situations, especially some disjoints that you could punish thanks to your DP. But going for the Elphelt, projectile is going to be the name of the game, but it's all the same, right? It's very difficult pressure for Axel to try and escape from, right? Only having that 2k as his fastest normal.
As of right now, it doesn't matter. You can just loop the Rekas. Yeah, Elphelt pressure is good, but I still think that Shin has more to give than Elphelt. At least personally, I am not that good as PataChu.
Well, why is he able to delete the bombs, though? Finds the next mix-up from the Pine Berry, and just like that, we're going to go into the super to finish the job. PataChu with that first round. Yeah. But, okay. Classic. Still would have liked to see, instead of command grab, just Resil trying to keep PataChu in the distance, because I think that's the way that you win this matchup. Just don't let Elphelt play near you. Elphelt fireballs are good, yeah, but Resil is better. Resil is better. But you get the chance to always pull off a Resil, especially with how aggressive PataChu likes to play it. And don't get it twisted. Just like Shin, Elphelt does have some nice normals at her disposal to be able to get you in a contesting range from not quite where you were expecting to see her being able to hit. And just like that, the sniper shot there to finish it. PataChu playing that first game, sorry.
Yeah, it's a good way. Hey, it's the way that you have to play. Unrelentless, just sticking to the face of Axel, and Axel is going to crumble by itself at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Axel, what does he have at his disposal to try and escape? Super system mechanics?
It's okay, 5 frames, and low profile. That's everything that Axel has. Yellow is good, but it's not perfect. Trying to go for Resil soon, not the position. And the tornado, that's something I've been missing on that first game. Against Elphelt, the tornado covers a good amount of space that Elphelt wants to work in.
Sort of. Gotta be careful of the 5HS disjoint, right? Just like as you try to set the tornado and play behind it, she might just shoot you right through it.
Yeah, but just set it, wait your time, and then try to go for a cheeky command grab if you want.
Fair, that's fair.
I know I'm very biased, but
That's fair. Oh my god, able to just sneakily take the corner there for one final mix. Baits out the wire. See what could have been a very nice start here for Shocker, getting around for himself. Ends up being stolen away by PataChu. Both players relatively even on the burst gauge scenarios. Does deploy a fully charged tornado. Gets a little stagger pressure going, but both players not really doing all too much. There's the light hits. Coming out now, putting a little bit of damage, keeping Elphelt at the full screen situation, trying to dash in, get that far slash going, but we just run up a... Oh my goodness.
Yeah, good there. Oh, missing the conversion there, but that's still another clean hit and just the classic sequence. Slash heavy. Going to work. Okay, full Rekka for PataChu. Almost half life out of Shocker. That's a good amount of life, and now just back to zoning. Those 5P doing work.
Okay, good IB, no push block, but the PRC knows has to respect that, using his own to back away. Both players deploying the bursts out. Let's get a few couple hits in here, trying to maintain distance, but look at that far slash, and just like that, gets himself a nice overhead and damage to follow with it. 50 meters spent, and that should be a dead Shocker as PataChu extends the lead to 2-0.
Yeah. Just managing to navigate perfectly between all those pokes, all those cycles, just beautifully done. And then that 6-8, that was, yeah, against an attempt of 6P. I told you, I mean, actual 6P is shit.
Putting it lightly, huh?
Yeah, it's not good. If you want to anti-air, your best option is actually probably 2K. And I am not joking.
Fair, yeah. I mean, it's a decent little button you got going on. Little catch. An attempt there. Now just slowly trying to harass, maintain the lead. He is carefully cultivated, but does eat a gunshot. Is stuck in the corner for the time being. Gets the run-up throw. PRC, but drops the combo. That is a very expensive drop inside of Shocker.
Yeah. Was trying to bait a little bit too hard that burst. At this point, force the burst. Go for the bomber. Force it. Okay, trying to Goomba Stomp PataChu, but now you are in the corner. You don't have no burst. You don't have 50 tension. What are you going to do with it? Okay, 6P is going to connect. Good. There's the yellow. Still trying to waste space, but
oh, tries to deploy the bomb vest, but doesn't work out. Throw attempt getting hard called out by the Pineberry. Just clearing to the skies, able to avoid it, and now it is PataChu on set point here against Shocker. Both players pretty even on the burst gauge here. We see them trying to tag one another, looking for an opening, deploys the Wild Assault. Does maintain a bit of distance, but no, just barely not getting the up follow-up from the Sickle Flash, and now eating some short trades, stuck in the corner, looking to just push block what he can to escape, finding as much distance between himself and PataChu as he can. Does bring it back to a mid-screen situation, but PataChu is relentless, just trying to push in at all costs.
Okay, trying to put some good pressure into the corner, but Axel doesn't have pressure in the corner, gets the grab. Roman this time going for one. Okay, going for the wall stick, but that's not enough damage. Trying to bait that burst there. Oh no.
In the corner, just that should catch.
No, it's too high. Yeah. The vertical hurt box is not that good.
Well, there's a lot of things that's not going too well here for Shocker. Several whiffed moves just flying straight into all sorts of dead zones. PataChu is able to close it out 3-0 against Shocker.
Yeah, I mean, PataChu just played it perfectly the way that you have to play it. Evade the pokes, which with Elphelt is not that difficult. You have somewhat decent mobility with the hop and the rush, which that's enough to get some space and then just make Axel's life miserable, which is the easy part.
That's what it's all about. I mean, I feel like that's that's basically any character's goal in any fighting game. I think it's just sit there, try to make it as miserable of a time for your opponent as possible, because you want to make it feel like they can't play at all, and then you're doing your job very well. I mean, of course, there's varying degrees of which characters can accomplish that. Some are specially catered towards that, right? Thinking puppet characters, because essentially they're playing with, they're playing a 2v1 on screen. But so long as you're able to call out their whatever options they're trying to play with and just make it seem hopeless, you're doing pretty well for yourself. But up next, we got IndoorTurtIe versus Fab. So see if IndoorTurtIe is going to go back on the bike or stick on to that Unika, and how those fare into Jacko. I think I haven't seen how the Arbalist will function into the Goobers. If she's able to get the shot off, will it just tear through and hit Jacko on the end, or does the Goobers tank it? Especially, I could imagine they will tank it, especially when they have the super on. And outside of that, right, like, sure, Unika has some pretty good reaching normals, but if Fabs is first looking to play around Goobers and then stick his neck out and approach, it doesn't matter what kind of range your buttons have.
Nah. I actually don't know. So, it's not. To be fair, it's not something that we see often. How many Unikas do you see here in the tournament? We have Turtle because they decided to play to Unika, but I am not that used to seeing them.
That's fair.
And when I see them, it's a mess.
We had one. We had Pico. They pulled up prior. Haven't seen them as of late yet, but so hey, wait a minute.
I still don't think this is good. Don't ask me why. Jacko with her access to projectiles and 6k existing.
Maybe. I think maybe it's mainly going to be the 6k is the issue rather than the projectiles, because for Jacko, right, it's summon Goober and then you throw it, or you place it down and you kick it. So there's a bunch of actions that have to be or there's a conditions that have to be met first before, just like that, right? Like you can see the Goober pick up, but then the cube hits. Although you have to consistently keep up the pressure as Asuka, so you can just keep pulling those Goobers out, and you have to keep shuffling decks.
Yeah, but that's not important. You are also dependent on your cards and the mana. That's important there. And what you don't have, and more importantly, you don't have your DP anymore.
Okay, go for the gold burst.
On Asuka's side. Yeah. Gold burst there. Ooh. Oh, gets the air grab. Good catch.
Back walk attempt there, able to find another opening, and mighty fine here for IndoorTurtIe. However, no meter to try and close it out with the super, so we go down to that final interaction and does find the hit. IndoorTurtIe taking that first round. Both players, well, slight advantage of burst going towards Fabs, but nevertheless, right, the projectile starting off in favor of IndoorTurtIe.
It is certainly indeed managing to evade the minions, getting a couple of hits, but now Fabs just setting up the grinder, the Zato-1 there, but 6B is good, charging some mana.
Yeah, oh, very tricky. Able to find that low. Sets up the strike throw pressure that Jacko is very devious at. Left, right, mix up, doesn't know where to look. And I believe this is just going to be one of those situations where IndoorTurtIe just hangs onto that burst, does what he can, but it's very tricky without mana.
Yeah, no mana, only access to what? To either stacking the deck or sending the super cubes to wouldn't have worked, therefore just probably take it as best as you can. Hope that it works now. The boost is already spent, therefore no more boost for this game. And the cubes are working better than I expected. Let's be fair.
they do work pretty nicely. I mean, it's all in that window of when Jacko still has to deploy group, but once they're out on the field, it becomes very difficult to start playing with you. Especially if they're like right next to you, she can just clap and then they will hit you.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see what Tabs can do, because right now has Turtle without spells. Not something that we usually see. Someone, one or two are ready to go, but now without any spells and just all the time in the wall.
Yeah, and no spells means that it's very, very difficult for IndoorTurtIe to try and play against the range that Jacko can play at with the Goobers. The Shiesties are on, and that means that there's a lot of pressure. The YOC is baited, but R.E.V.O confirm going off of it just yet. There's some stray hits that are succeeding, but not the full conversion for the finish. But so long as Fabs keeps finding those openings, it's all good as he secures the first game against IndoorTurtIe.
Yeah, good job there at the end. That pressure forcing Turtle to be without spells. That's not something I thought about it. Because how many times have you seen an Asuka without spells? Mana, okay, happens, but without spells, that's difficult. And there is immediate change. Viken is coming out.
Yeah, I saw the chat earlier. It mentioned that IndoorTurtIe is does not like Jacko very much, so that's possibly why went for the Asuka. But ultimately, I still think it's to your benefit that despite your hatred and despite what the matchup is for your character, that you still play it out on your most comfortable character.
Yeah. There is a limit on how much you can say each matchup difference into. You know how to play this character better than anybody here. Trademark. Go for that.
Exactly. Ooh, very nice clap. Able to get at the very tail end. Plays the Goober, tap dust. A little extension to go with it. Goes straight into the super. Is it enough to kill?
No, I mean, Viken is a very sturdy girl, so it's not going to be yet. But still, that's a lot of damage. Jill Johnson with, but still managing to get some advantage.
Oh, great heavens there. Unfortunate little error there on the throw attempt. Still too much hit stun, and then the good read on Fabs' side to bait out the Azami attempt there. Now just backing away. Does get a little hit here. But right to the face deploys the Goobert. IndoorTurtIe does try to interact, but doesn't quite work out. But the 2HS leading to some nice damage and set up. That blocks it out.
Look at that now on defense duty. Oh, Fabs, you nasty, also blocking that burst. There is enough minion for a ward. Gets the grab. Beautiful conversion there. Yellow is going to buy some space for Turtle, but I don't think that's going to be enough minions. The burst was through. Now is the interesting part. What is Turtle going to do?
Very difficult situation here with that health total that Turtle's at to try and get close here against Fabs on the Jacko, but does find the tag with the JS. They're gonna throw, deploys the wire, and just like that, able to push him just far back enough to get a little tug going and able to get the corner steal mix. Both players round a piece, but beautiful anti-air opens it up here for Fabs. Does land an extra conversion off of it. The low mix, the blocks. Find a trade and delete the Goobers, but still, just look how in control Fabs is.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Turtle, even though Turtle has burst. That's a very important thing to remember. And Fabs is, well, half burst, no tension, there is the burst.
Good position too. There was no way for Fabs to set up a burst bait here, but now we're in a similar situation to before. A lot of health on the side of Fab. Quiet the road for IndoorTurtIe to make the comeback happen. Does find the anti-air. Has the Kabari rope applied. Does get a little extension to go with it. Just like that, jumps in, finds the low. Doing a whole lot of hurt, and with this super, won't quite kill just yet, but is able to narrowly take back the life lead.
Exactly, gets the life lead. Now it's burst on Fab side, there is a spend. Enough tension to go for any super. Oh my! The reaction there by Turtle, yeah. Ouch, indeed.
Very, very clutch indeed. Yeah, just pull out the BRC time stone, make sure that whatever they're doing gets slowed down by 1 billion years, and just get that punish in between when you see the chance. IndoorTurtIe with the immediate swap, despite his hatred for the Jacko character, he's still much better off playing your main. It would absolutely seem to be the case.
Yeah, at this point, it's what we said before. You are the best player on this character right now. Show to us why you are. It's the worst matchup, doesn't matter. You are the best player here with that character. Don't try to be fancy. And right now, I mean, once again, we're seeing Fabs getting those life leads, but the moment that Turtle managed to get that one hit, game swings completely.
We talk about the momentum of Strive, right? Like, currently we can very much see this as the Jacko party, constantly setting up mix-ups, has groovers to set up for disjointed pressure, right? Getting some sneaky plus frames here and there, but ultimately when IndoorTurtIe does finally get his hands on Fabs, he can put himself in a very good situation where also, you know, Jacko doesn't have relentless reversals, and wow, just the Azami, the Slimer down, finds the low. Just like that, we could see another dominant performance here by IndoorTurtIe, able to get an interesting little air hit thanks to the rope. Try to drive him closer and closer towards the corner, finds the low and going for the hero burst here. And the run up to HS, my goodness, right under the goober.
Yeah, a little bit too much of a hero in that burst, and now we have Turtle, burst lead. And it's not looking good for Fabs. There is a burst trying to be offensive. Fabs trying to break the defense open. Not enough yet. Oh,
Trying to clap. Still very tricky situation. Able to get these very hard to see mix-ups. YRC does connect, so all the groupers are deleted, but the 6P able to beat out the Yozansen. The Azami is baited. A whole lot of damage, sets up for yet another mix-up. Tap does connect, RC to be sure. And just like that, Fabs once again takes back the lead in the set and is now one game away from sending IndoorTurtIe home.
yeah. Yeah, okay, we're seeing a very interesting matchup. Momentum based. You said it before, the momentum is powerful in them. And also the next change, Unika this time. And also, Frankie, thank you for the raid. You are now in the best part of the tournament. We are wrapping up that first round of the loser top 8. And we have very interesting situations cooking.
A big run up, getting himself a nice hit with the old long normals. Let's try to back away, let the projectiles do a bit of the playing. Snipes a few of the goobers away. Now we see the R.E.V.O. Gonna get that full screen pressure, though the challenge from Fabs gets a mix up to go with it, and there's no response from IndoorTurtIe just yet. Does have that DP. Should he find a gap to escape? But doesn't seem to be the case. But the 2S, however, doesn't get a further conversion from it.
Much space, and now Turtle with the R.E.V.O. is just trying to poke out, but hey, you can see, but I think that still at range, he's only having a very horizontal. Jacko still has an advantage to jump up, send minion, clap, clap, clap. Now, there it is. The mega awesome pile driver. Only one life left for Turtle, needs to work out.
Yeah, we do see sometimes things does find some stray hits here, especially with the Arbalest laser, but Fabs, this entire set has been so in control, only ever losing out to just some hard momentum plays where it's difficult to figure out how the defense should be played out, though a lot of backing away has prompted the danger warning and is already starting to lose a bit of meter. Time for Fabs to actually interact a little bit more in an advancing state against IndoorTurtIe. However, IndoorTurtIe is definitely going to enjoy the situation of having them locked down in the corner.
Yeah, it manages to get off the grab, but the 6P is good. Oh, but good grab by Fabs, which means that Burst is being forced out. No more resource for Turtle, and it's not looking good. Trying to find some space, trying to shoot off the minions. But Fabs is not giving up. 2 minions ready to go.
Ooh. Let's throw a deflect shield in there, but it didn't work out, and now we see the punishment for it all. Look at that damage. Just IndoorTurtIe needed that one solid hit. He brings it still set point for Fabs, but now a chance to tie up the set. That dance through in there, finding the air-to-air hit against the grouper, able to catch the dash over. Just like that, sniping straight through the goober and Jacko. A double whammy.
Yeah, Celes laser is a thing, and now those 3 minions are there. Turtle in cleanup duty, but gets stuck at the end. He's gonna get near the corner. That is against the wall. Immediately going for the Elysium driver. That's a lot of damage.
Oh my goodness. Still, the burst is available for IndoorTurtIe, but the life total that he has to be very careful, especially after that stray hit. You have to use this burst preemptively. The chip damage coming out. We're down to our final tick of health here. Any hit from Fabs will seal the deal, and the Goober off screen as they're falling down from the Arbiter shots will close it out. Fabs beats IndoorTurtIe 3-1.
At the end, that super defense. Those minions stay on screen longer than expected. That's not something that you can prepare for all the time, and well, Fabs is making waves right now.
Fabs is making waves. Speaking waves, I think it's a time for another wave of Matcherino shilling. So let me give a quick refresh here, see what the progress is looking like. We did get some more people tuning in, thanks to some choice raids by Scatter and Wanted Frankie. Much appreciated. Now, if you could just extend it a little bit further into claiming these codes, we are at 30 remaining. So head on over, !Matcherino, hit that claim code button, and it will prompt you to sign in if you haven't done so already, which you can do so with a service of your choice. Once you've completed that process, you will have contributed 25 cents to the prize pool. It is literally free money. And of course, there is the ASK insurance. Should you somehow believe that this could charge money from your account and you see the 25% reduction, you can always count on ASK to just give you that back, because it shouldn't happen, so you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, if you put your credit card, PayPal there is because you wanted to give money, which we are also very much appreciated that, but we don't charge for codes, neither does Matcherino, so claim those. It's for the best of everybody. 38 remaining. 38 too many codes, in my opinion.
People coming in now. Thank you, everybody that are claiming the codes. As we're hopping into our next game, it's going to be PataChu versus Resil. Typically, somebody... Oh, hello, Dizzy. Okay. I was ready to talk about that Shin versus Bedman matchup, but no, we're going to be busting out the Dizzy, so I'm interested to see what kind of technology Resil has prepared, especially considering the wave of buffs that Dizzy has received as a recent patch. Is it enough?
We need to see that. For now, classic setup, set up the fish, plenty open, abusing the pillars. Okay, good pressure, 6-8 block, wings of light almost pre-deployed. Those are going to pop. No! That be a big drive in the very last moment. Fading that tough situation, and and also blocking the reversal. That's going to be a lot of damage.
You weren't kidding. Oh my goodness. And there we go. PataChu taking the hard knockdown, finds the stomp. It's going to be the burst here. Hero attempt, but the 6B active enough to try and catch something that Resil was trying to do to interact with there. I see a bit of the vision already here on the Dizzy, right? When the ice field is deployed, some of the movement cancel options from Shin isn't going as intended, right? This acceleration, not being able to hit that instant top speed makes it rather difficult, but that's fine and all. However, PataChu is right in the face of Resil. Gets another hard knockdown, so there is no chance to get the ice field going. Looking for the deflex shield and the shimmy to bait it out. PataChu not looking like he's lost his edge at all, despite a heavy weekend of action. A perfect finish off that first game.
And I think try to go with the best intentions, but it is still probably not working. The first game, the ideas were good. As you said before, neuter the speed advantage that Shin naturally has. Those cancels are too good, and Dizzy doesn't have mobility almost at all, so the idea was solid. But
Yeah,
we are talking about PataChu.
We might be gassing it up too much, because I look over here and Resil saying on Discord that he could have sworn that PataChu was hovering Elphelt, and he thought it was going to be a match of secondaries. So, you know, we gassed him up, but you know, he made it. He tried what he could. However, we're back on the comfort zone, being able to play the Bedman into PataChu. We do see that, you know, both of these characters do have the ability to just play at a similar range to one another. And the low profile there is going to be very nice to try and avoid some of these projectiles from Bedman, but at the end of the day, Resil does have to watch out for that Hawk Baker between some of these heavy charge up situations that he has in his kit.
Hey, as of right now, Resil a little bit of a has advantage. Nothing that is not going to close up in a moment. Another knockdown for PataChu. Already putting Resil onto the corner. Another big counter hit that's going to be a lot of damage.
Almost certainly, especially with the Tyrant Barrel thereafter, you're going to get all of that hurt. Well, that hard knockdown, positive beat bonus is ticking, and already we got the stamina recovering. It's going to have the PRC though to extend the pressure a little further while the stamina is not charged up just yet, but ooh, no chance at all to deploy the super projectiles. PataChu is one round away from solidifying his lead over Resil.
Good hit there. Resil trying to find those openings, get that. It's going to be a beautiful combo, but it still feels that it's not doing enough damage to offset that deficit. And now, okay, gets a confirm. Big hits, those are the ones that we are looking from those Bedmans. Another one trying to keep the party going. Good evasion on the driver. I immediately go for the overdrive. That's the way we like that Bedman.
Exactly. Here we are, round apiece to both players though. It's PataChu that has the burst advantage for the time being. That being said, Resil can't use 50 burst to try and escape his corner pressure, but so far it's just content with holding it. As much of it is probably unwillingly holding it. The Tyrant Barrel breaking through the wall, getting a whole lot of damage as well as a hard knockdown. Trying to run that stagger pressure while the stamina recovers, but the bedfall finds his mark, but not able to get much more after that with the normal.
Yeah. Some good pokes, but PataChu's poking even better. Gets the hit, gets the grab onto the corners. Doesn't want to go for a Roman. There's the Roman. Baits the burst, and that's going to be a 2-0 for PataChu.
Very tough indeed here for Resil right now. We do see moments where it does work out quite nicely, but I just think the amount of tools at Sin's disposal, and especially just having that meterless reversal, makes it so difficult for some of these stagger pressure situations. And it's like bedfall has a bit of an air stall to it. Getting some of these errors out has also a bit of startup to it. It's all just too many gaps and too many opportunities for PataChu to break away and cut, just stop the pressure right there. It says, nope, you had your fun. It's once again Sin time.
And that's true, but on the other side, Bedman's pressure is better on the corner, even though yeah, the meterless reversals do exist, but still, the moment that you have a Shin locked in the corner, still a lot of damage. But Shin does also do a lot of damage. It's a good sequence there for PataChu. Resil on the corner, gets stuck in the air, can't get out of there, and now,
Okay, a lucky break here for Resil. RC wants pressure running quick blocks from PataChu though. YRC won't do any of that. Get a stamina here to play with. Both players low on meter. We see Resil do what he can with a little bit of zoning. Maybe he can tag a few hits there, but the JP meets him anti-air, keeps him locked in the corner. Does reflex shield away, finds the low of crossing over to the other side. And there's the Hawk Baker just busting out, has a bit too much health to trade with, but this will throw. Resil dragging PataChu towards the corner, looking to anti-air. Doesn't hit the close slash, but the dive kick sends him the wrong way. Resil now has been able to slowly but surely close the life deficit, but again, once stuck in the corner, does find that JS. Red RC, and I think this is one. No, burst from PataChu, wants to fight for it.
We are fighting indeed. 6P connecting, 6P is killing.
Puts PataChu on set point here yet again. The 6P burst available for Resil. Hanging on to it for now. Does, oh no, just use it, but ends up being baited. So half your health gone, a hard knockdown being held, positive beater bonus building, and 1 bar of stamina still left for canceling. Does 2P mash out though? driver, deflect shield, but that doesn't keep him away for long enough. Finds yet another trade. Not enough to keep the combo going. Wild Assault trading. Air throw to finish it off, and PataChu seals it. 3-0 against Resil, sending him out of the bracket and moving on forward to face off against Fabs in the loser semifinals. But before that, we're going to finally mosey on back to our winner's side match where Son and Yoish have been patiently waiting for their turn.
Yeah. Back to the winner's side it is indeed. And my god, this top 4 is almost correct in terms of setting, but still kind of wild. Fabs is on a tear right now.
Yeah, this is definitely very good. This tournament is definitely very good stonks for the seeding next time around. So hopefully, this is definitely a highlight performance for Fabs, and maybe this is something we get to see more of because Jacko is very, very, very solid. Those pretty stable characters, so then doesn't need to fluke too much to traverse her way through a bracket. And of course, being in the YoKai project, there is plenty for him to take back and go over. This tournament will really mess with the Elo side. Yeah.
Happens.
People should have just played. Are you showing me a job application for it? How come? Pat's looking away. Are you showing a job application form? Yesn't. Charging up the Elo pipe bomb. Finally, the Elo pipe bombs from Xrd are making their way over the Strive.
Aye.
But yeah, what do you think about the upcoming match, Mr. Lapsus?
So we have that Ram versus Yoish was playing them. Short-time memory, my friends. It's working perfectly now. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Yeah. Ram Zato, a classic. A classic. Classic I haven't seen in a good amount of time, but I still think it can still be Ram favored. The Zato buffs are not enough, and Ram buffs and Ram nerfs are not enough to this matchup, but still, it's going to be an interesting situation.
Right. Yeah, I think as we've seen before with Shinky playing it into Fabs, the fact that Son has the Ramlethal swords, right, to just be able to shoot those across the screen, Yoish is going to have to be very careful how he moves Eddie around, right? So we might be seeing some similar type of things of like trying to advance forward with opposes. Just like that, right? Immediately deploying the oppose, but at the same time, right, Son understands that like it's a pretty expected thing to just see Ramlethal send the sword out, and instead of just playing around these longer range normals and able to get a beautiful conversion. And this might lead all the way into the corner.
It is leading all the way into the corner, Jacker, and now Son with a huge case advantage. Okay, Mortovato block, yellow out of Yoish to evade the follow-up purple, but still not in a good position. Explosion trying to lock Yoish there, but it's not enough, and just the excessive range is the thing that's... You said it, it's excessive range the swords provide Ram that's swinging this matchup.
Yeah, and especially with some of the longer range buttons that is at Zato's disposal. Some of this on the slower side. It's very difficult to challenge. He wants to be right up close and personal. That's where his buttons are best. Just as he is right now. Able to get another mix-up going. Finds the empty jump low. However, slump here. Doesn't want to take it to mid-screen situation. The command grab, scoop up will be enough for Yoish to take a round back. A perfect, no less. Both players are vying for that first round, or first game win, apologies.
Good tag there. Pressure is good. It is going to be running But doesn't matter. It's your Sunvoid.
Hard knockdown. Eddie all ready to go. Tries to go for the Wild Assault to push further in, but Thunder Burst disables both. However, the PRC able to get the Wild Assault to guarantee a throw setup, recovering all that Eddie gave. Very good, actually very smart utilization of resource there. The Stagger Guard, being able to get the combo throw off of it. Very smart from Yorish. And with that, able to get that first game.
It did, so I am also wise because my prediction is very bad. Okay.
Well,
yeah,
it's
my
but definitely,
prediction.
I mean, the aggression is what's going to be key for both players, right? Because neither has their meterless reversal. Ram at least has the benefit of having a metered one. Both will be having to rely on system mechanics, and when you're outside of those windows, right, where you don't have the resources necessary to escape, you're going to be a D1 victim when it comes to the pressure of either characters.
No, yeah, that's true, but still, if we are top trade up without reversals, Zato normals with Eddie, especially with Eddie, are better than anything that Ram can put out.
True.
In a pressure situation, in a situation, Ram wins because the range is good, swords are good for pressure, and we're getting situations like that. Onto a wall, only not enough tension to go for any foul.
Okay, heavens.
Positive
Might
bonus.
be difficult to block that one. Tapped in the corner, a little bit of Eddie gauge left to try and run some pressure. Finds a low, one last Eddie clap. Just like that, some void to get it all back. Anyways, hard knockdown to go with it, possibly the bonus, but there is still quite a bit of meter on the side from Son. Uses it to YRC to kill the Eddie as well as push away Yosh, and just at that, the swords deploy, being able to catch the backdash. Might have been a little error there on the side from Yosh, however, Son now with a chance to tie up the scoreboard. Anyway, Yoish picking up the pressure for the time being, doing what he can while Eddie is in recovery mode. Just like that, we see a whole lot of tension being dedicated just to get the push block going as well as surviving chip damage, but in the end, Yoish just sticks on to Son like blue. Does find a quick trade opportunity, but immediately the PRC reaction into the throw. You have to beat out on that clash situation. Now, going from one corner to the other, all the same, still trapped in the Zato pressure.
Good luck getting out of there. Nope. Use bursting there. That hero burst is not the best idea. And now, burst and back touch. What is this going to be the difference? It's the big question. Oh, big counter hit against the wall. That's a full go. Have to go for a Mortopato, sadly.
Yeah, it is what it is, but look at the damage already. Look at the life lead and already chasing down Yoish and trapped in the corner. The explosion coming out and the Mortopato to finish it off. Son ties up the set 1-1.
1-1 indeed, and what a swingy match at the excellent level. Excellent. And at this point, it's those little things, and it's too close, man.
It's very close. I mean, very heavy momentum on either side of the plays. You do see that once they can establish control, they can do some devastating damage and solidify quite the heavy life lead over the other. We do see a challenge attempt there from Son to break away. Aggressive burst used, and again another burst quickly followed after that, just to try and bring it back to the mid-screen situation. George sticking onto like glue, but far slash connects. We're gonna block the BRC mix. Chase down, does catch the backdash. Eddie is deployed. We're gonna get a nice confirm to go with it on deploy. It's the mix snatched instead.
Yeah, good command grab there. Deal the damage, reset Eddie. Just keep the pressure going. Don't let Ram push a button. Because I said it before, it's a very even match, but more importantly, resource match. Eddie Gage versus swords. Does Ram have swords? Neutral should be one for Son. Ram's swords are already used. That's when Josh can get more damage or at least more opportunities. Whether you agree on that?
Does make sense. However, we do see typically that Son does end up using the swords only as when he knows he can guarantee a corner combo and or a mix-up situation. Doesn't simply willy-nilly deploy the sword, right? Like just like that. Wasn't a hit confirmed, but knows that it will drag George all the way into the corner to run the pressure afterwards. Now, still on the back foot, but we have the right sword to try and challenge in some of these situations. Blocks the tap dust. Not ready for the stagger either after. However, no conversion from Yoish. Opens up an opportunity to hit here by Son. Look to carry him. Side swapping actually, bring him back to the other corner.
Yeah, back to the corner we are going with another shot for more pressure, but no explosion. Only a level, but doesn't matter. Just run up, grab. Corner pressure for Son, not enough. We are loaded again. Eddie's back. Swords are almost ready to go, but it's going to be Yoish putting Son onto the corner. And now, defense duty for Son. Boost is available.
I even see it used out in block here because it's going to be very tricky, especially with how she can set up for command grabs. Does end up gold bursting, only hitting the Eddie. You can see Yoish doing what he can to try and control. Doesn't die, but whoa, what a shit. Baits out the deflect shield and Son takes the lead, currently 2-1 against Yoish. But oh my goodness, it's getting closer and closer between these two.
Yeah, I actually think that hitting the Eddie still is better in that position.
Oh, certainly.
No more pressure. Zato's back to mega runnels and all the tempo in the wall to get.
And especially considering that, what he hit Eddie with was gold burst, so you're safe on that, and that's unpunishable. Here we are, game number 4. Son now 2 rounds away from advancing onto the winner's side of grand final, sending Yoish down to losers, but Yoish not too keen to be counted out just yet. Has Son locked in the corner, prompting the burst. Keeps the pressure running, use the Wild Assault to push it a little further, looking for the Eddie gauge to recover just like that. The boys back on the screen, find the empty jump low, push the damage a little further. Son Void, not enough to kill, but it does get him that hard knockdown, and Eddie fully recovered.
Yeah, that's a good position for Yoish getting the kill. One more game to force that 5th round. But I don't think that Son is going to let that happen in a willy-nilly. Gets that confirmed onto the corner. You're going to see the full combo. Yes, with the slam.
Yeah, sounded just a little short for the super finisher. Nevertheless, right, good damage on the board. However, Yoish is right in Son's face, finds the tap dust, the leapfrog, Son Void to push it further. The wall break, but despite the Eddie gauge, you have to be careful of that 100 tension aside from Son. Already BRC looking for a mix-up. Red RC to keep the pressure going, wants to push him all the way into the corner. Let's find a few little licks here, but the anti-air, both players with a burst available. But at least Yoish has the round lead, so maybe might be conserving it for a final round. Who's to say right now? Oh, wow, what a throw.
Ooh, what a throw indeed, catching that wild assault out of Yoish. But now the confirm there, forcing the burst. Last lifeline for Son before that final game 5. Trying to catch with the rock, and that's not enough. We are going to game 5.
First game 5, we've only seen sweeps or the occasional one game, right? The one game of hope to maybe see some more. But at long last, our first 5th game in the series of this evening. It's all down to the line now. Son or Yoish will be the ones moving on forward into the grand finals winner side seat. So far, Yoish, coming off the last game, Yoish has been very dominant, and we have seen it already prior to some other games, and similarly on the side of Son. So who is going to be the conductor getting that pressure started first? Taps into the opposed, and just like that, trying to bait out the burst, but still, there's a lockdown in the corner. Finds the invite hell, BRC to try and push a little further, and that is when Son has seen enough.
It is nasty sequence, but good defense on Son's side, only giving up a very small amount of damage. Yoish trying to be as nasty as possible with those mix-ups of both eating a hit, but still not enough. I still don't know how Son is not dead yet. That was some good defense.
A lot of stray hits there, and also sacrificing every last bit of tension into the faultless defense. However, Yoish is still going to find the hit necessary to put himself up the set point. Instantly bursting, understands that with the right amount of momentum, Son could totally steal this round. So, might as well cut it short. Trying to play with the oppose, as well as using the ricochet, deploy forward, dances around the sword explosions. He's waiting for an opportunity to get the jump in, get the anti-air, but with a throw.
Yeah, I blocked on the Rekka there. Then you throw Samboy, get that knockdown. This is probably the best position that Joyce could hope for. Son onto the corner, tries to escape, but manages to escape, gets a counter hit. That's a lot of damage waiting to happen. No, drops it.
Let's get another follow-up anti-air though, but there's a lot of meter on the side of Yoish. Cuts the combo short, deploys the Eddie. Be careful for the burst on the side from Son. He goes for the Sun Void, wants to push it a little further. That's where the 50 meter goes. BRCs, but not confident to press. Does find an opportunity to burst. Down to the final chance. Able to tag Yoish here. The meter burst gauge is slowly recovering though, so has to mind it. Should Yoish decide maybe he might want to burst, but 5HS sets up the Wild Assault into the command grab, and that is a 3-2 finish. Being able to go into winner's side grand finals as he awaits his next challenger.
Exactly, una very good performance. Very nasty in a sense that both players had something up their sleeve, but the end is going to be Yoish. That's one that takes everything home. Son relegated to the losers finals. It's going to be an interesting ride because now we have two more players that are making waves. One made top 8 on UFA, one is crushing everybody on its path right now, even though it's loser. Fabs versus PataChu.
So we'll see how this one plays out. There are avenues that Jacko can exert a lot of control over the likes of Shin. Beak Driver, I feel like, is going to be PataChu's best friend to try and tag and as well as blow through some of the minion deploys to, hopefully hit. Oh wait, hold on, that's an Elphelt.
Yeah, I would thought it would be like that. I mean, yes, Shin has the mobility, has the DP, has the Beak Driver, but there's a moment that there's too many things on screen, and having a projectile in the form of those gunshots can be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly that. Like, he'd have to excessively play around Beak Driver because all of his strengths, such as the long, pretty decently reaching normals, having these dash cancels, thanks to Gazelle Step and whatnot. Also, whoa, Gecko Squirrel, welcome. Thank you for the raid. To all everyone joining in from Gecko Squirrel's side, make sure to claim some of these codes. We're down to our last 20. We're walking a little behind because we've only been streaming the top 8, but you're just in time for PataChu on Elphelt versus Fabs. We face making some big waves here in the top 8 side of Salty.
Yeah, it's an interesting take on the top 8, and now we've seen that interaction. I told you, that gunshot, it's very fast, much more faster than anything that Shin could pull off on the positions before. In a full screen situation, it's better, maybe in a closer range, not that much, but still, that's a good position. And there is the driver, the damage, it's a good deficit. PataChu is in.
A lot of room to work with here, able to find a little opening thanks to some stagger shenanigans. And Fab's looking pretty swell here against PataChu. We'll see if that changes. PataChu, a known little diesel engine, needs to warm up a little bit, especially study what his opponent gets up to and then develop the appropriate responses into that. And already we can see a little bit of better performance as Fab's blocked in the corner. Good defense. Does get opened up a few times here and there, but so far nothing major. Buster Fuzzy tries to press the 5P challenge out, but it wasn't meant to be, and gets blown up for the attempt. No hard knockdown, so there's still an opportunity to play here for Fabs, but boy, some of this defense is looking already really promising.
It is. And now a little bit of zoning out of PataChu. The rush is going to come in, even though there's a side still trying to make best. At this moment, he's just zoning. Those rebounds, making life a little bit harder for Fabs on those last moments.
Ooh, almost gets the meteor minion connect there, but See the aggressive chase down here. 5P though. Deploys the minion, gets the clap out. However, the throw gets tech, uninstalls the minion. Able to get a quick one thrown out thanks to RC. Hits him over the head. 2 goobers on the table. Only 1. Clap. Send him from the meteor. Drop another one. So much pressure. Look at the risk gauge cranking up. Tap does connect. Baits out the burst. I mean, what can you do? It's a really, really tough situation to escape. And Fabs takes that first game against PataChu.
Yeah, the pressure at the end. Please raise your hand if you haven't been hit, because if anybody raises their hand, they are a liar and should be kicked out. You are going to get hit at that point. Either way, and PataChu sticking with Elphelt.
Yeah, I mean, I think we discussed it when we discussed it earlier. Ooh, hold on, hopping off the plate.
Okay.
Maybe it is still a Sin angle after all.
I will believe that. I don't think he
I
felt
actually,
comfortable.
Yeah, because I think, let's see. Yeah, it's going to go to Sin. Because I think, like we saw in that last pressure sequence, there is a bit of a gap, especially with the way Fabs was deploying the goober, right? Having it come from above. It's a window, most likely, that PataChu can DP through. And, you know, it's not entirely hopeless, right? You saw some pretty decent range buttons to try and challenge like that, right? Gets the beak driver, releases the goober, forces himself in onto Fabs, and now we get to run that Sin pressure, which is very difficult for Jackal to deal with.
Yeah, it is. Then, well, you need to see how the thing happen now. Okay, immediately get the pickup, immediately going for that Tyrant Barrel. Good damage there, and now the pressure. Let's see what they can do. Just back up.
Oos.
But giving too much.
Very nice. Doing what he can to make sure no goober stays on for free. Does use the shield version this time to bait out a hit. Has him trapped in the corner. RTL is being deployed. Is it in recovery? Hits the goober. Ooh, a little weird. Does get the punish, but nothing major as of yet. Takes the throw. There's a lot of resources on the side for PataChu, but finds a hit. RC drags him closer towards the corner. Sends out the goober. It's not going to be enough to kill, but look at the situation. It's so deadly. It finds the kill. Burst is online for PataChu. Though Fabs 1 round away from solidifying the lead.
Yeah, it's based on the situation. Yeah, burst is online, but so is going to be Fabs. It's not that long since that burst bar is completely full. Fabs defense tries to catch that 2D, but since Backdash is too good at the point. Good kicks, good pressure, finding some straight hits. Nothing major yet. Near side. Yeah.
Try to dance around some of these normals, looking for a whip punish angle. Who says there's no footsies in the anime fighters? Crossover. Good block there from PataChu so far. Burst on both sides of the players. RC is dropped. Nice throw tech, trying to chase down PRC. Good defense, not being too hasty. Does go for the burst. Looks like it almost was baited out. What a shield, but still challenging nevertheless. PataChu trying to interact as much as he can. Does not want to be zoned out for free against the Jackal, though. See the danger warnings coming out now. Fabs does have to advance on forward.
Yeah, this is not acceptable. You cannot stay complete all the time on full screen. You need to go forward. You need to move, and there is the move. Confirming then, trying to beat the burst. Now it's the burst. But very low life on PataChu, and the other counter hit is 2-0 for Fabs right now.
Oh my goodness. PataChu looking for any sort of answer there to just cut Fabs' pressure short, but narrowly avoiding it all out of range and just pressing that sweep at the right moment there, getting a big old counter hit to finish off the second game now, threatening a 3-0 finish against the likes of PataChu. This also being the loser side is that there's not going to be a second chance for PataChu. Same goes for Fabs, but as it stands, a really good spot. And now that I've mentioned it, the curse has been applied. Nice Hog Baker, able to set up the ground throw. Locked into the corner, not ready to block that overhead, and does secure the tire barrel. Is going to get a hard knockdown, get that positive meter bonus, but the stamina is all too low. So there's going to be mostly focused on stagger pressure here, trying to get the chase down, but excellent footsies is going to be the winner of the day as PataChu, near perfect, able to get the first round of Game 3.
Yeah, those back dashes buying enough space to bypass the 2D out of Fabs. A little bit too... Hey, That actually is very good, but we've seen a good couple of times that whipping from that backdash. And now, there is the pressure burst already out of Fabs. Minions are long for this wolf. But oh, there is the hit, there is the confirm. Let's see the damage, the pressure is really good, but not enough damage, it's only cheap at best.
Not too complaining there, because these goobers do add up, especially with the chip damage, but 6p lands his mark, RC to get a little more damage. Oh no, big drop! Finds the sweep, RC wants to get a goober deployed, looks for the backdash away, doesn't hit one, tries to deflect, hits its mark, kicks one forward, able to escort PataChu all the way to the corner, catches the gazelle step, and I think this is one that PataChu does not burst, looks for what he can, but ends up dying to the stagger pressure, and Fabs now on set point against PataChu.
Ooh, what a situation PataChu is suddenly cast upon. Fabs managing to get the soccer, the football kick. Sets another goober, the defense command is working, but now PataChu is in.
And he's here to stay, finds himself a nice counter hit, beak driver, doing all that he can to make this hit count as much as possible. You do not want to give, you do not want to let Fabs get away with too much here, especially not suffering too much damage. Walked into corner. We see no follow-up after the beak driver. We are playing mind games around our tools right now. 6p, locks him in. Blocks the overhead, blocks the low, but not the second overhead. The burst is available, but we're getting into the situation where it's hard to use. Decides to use it on the wake-up situation. Walks back, Goober deployed. There's a lot of room for PataChu to play patiently and very defensively. Or maybe very aggressively too.
Okay, but 2K2D gets the sweep. PataChu is now on the defense. Yellow to sweep away all the minions. And the check low is enough. And PataChu gets out of a very sticky situation. 2-1 still. But PataChu is alive.
Yeah, most definitely we can see a lot stronger control. Looking to establish himself a little bit more aggressively. Kind of saw it have a bit of a misfire in the second round before, where PataChu was really looking to do what he can to push on forward into Fabs' territory, but just kept running into off-screen minions that were hitting him when he was trying to do whatever he could. Already we see an aggressive button being pressed to stop. Goes for a clap, no Goober deployed, has to use an early burst for the mistake. Goober is sent. Get what he can. Deflect shield.
Okay. Another one connecting, those deflections working, getting the soft knockdowns, not letting PataChu advance. It's an important part. PataChu is now onto the corner. This is where Fabs wants PataChu to be in. Burst spent.
It's a whip punish. Ooh, beautiful gazelle step. Pushing on forward, avoiding the Goober appearing from behind. The Elysium driver, but I think that's a very blocked super. And it's going to be a lot of damage. Look at this, not expending too much on the stamina. Straight into the tire barrel. What life lead Fabs had has been quickly eviscerated, and the resource on the side of PataChu is more than enough to close it out. Finds the throw, RC, and that will be PataChu one game away from being into a game 5, for one round away from being into a game 5 situation.
Yeah, a little bit too gambling on Fab's side, trying to catch PataChu. Touching, but not working there, and now gets the counter. It is going to be a lot of damage, trying to set up the grinding machine on the corner, but the DP is going to find the moment, and also the 6p.
Yeah,
trading counters there.
The Goober surviving thanks to the armor up means that they were able to tag PataChu in an attempt to continue the combo after the DP. So it puts Fab in a very strong position here. However, gets opened up by a sweep. Here comes the combo, trying to push him all the way to the corner. Not going to be building enough meter, but just takes a reset. Counter hit beak driver, runs out of stamina. 2p mash, quickly eat. Surviving by the heavenly mandate. The fact that PataChu does not have that 50 meter to get that tyrant barrel going. Tries to dance away. Use the life lead to force an advance on the side from Fab. PRC forward, 5k connects, and the overhead to finish it. PataChu brings it to a game 5.
Game 5 situation. It is from the brink of defeat to finding a sliver of life. PataChu's been hard at work on this matchup because it truly seems like he's not.
Yeah, it's most definitely a very tough one here for PataChu to try and play out. We see him very carefully temper his approach, but of course unleashing it completely when he gets in the side. pocket against Jacko, because that's what you gotta do. You gotta make a count. While she has you at this distance, you have to get through the minefield that is her Goober army. And of course, she wants to get you in a little bit of a hasty fashion, trying to make mistakes, getting as close as possible. However, oh, that must have been a little execution error that is immediately being punished as heavily as possible by PataChu.
Going for a grab that finally doing me simple. Difficult to mess there, but now.
See?
Eh?
Yeah, look at the meters though on the side of PataChu.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's a full tension on PataChu's side. Risk is negligible in this game. And now, oh, big. This extra 10. PataChu. Go, Tyra. Clean spot. A lot of damage.
Jump blocks it, but very difficult position to punish. Just able to get that 2k afterwards, and that is going to be putting PataChu now on set point. A beautiful reverse sweep so far for 2E. Going to go for the OTG burst. Doesn't want to let any pressure over the side of PataChu. Deploys the Goober, however, gets 6 feet away. Able to get a quick tag on the projectile, but it doesn't really establish too much. Does hit the parry, sends up 2 Goobers, and both again hit away. PataChu drives Fabs into the corner and sets up the barrel. A lot of damage, a hard knockdown, and 1 stamina bar. Find the next hit.
Yeah, that's going to be important. More than enough. There is a stray hit not able to confirm. Understand deeper. Yellow is going to buy some space for Fabs. Not enough. Tries to set up the aggression, sets up a minion, but it's not good. A single. And there is a clap.
Good spot to be in as of now. Tries to find a quick parry. However, 1 beak driver for the price of 2 Goobers. Does try to kick after chasing aggressively, looking for what he can. Avoiding the beak driver. Big hit here. Is it something that PataChu will try to burst? Not yet. Then full speed. Does catch him on the approach. And I think this is one that PataChu will simply concede. Beautiful fuzzy, and Habs now with a chance himself on set point. However, the burst situation is looking rather dire.
There's a bit different situation. This double Luigi, but Fabs manages to find a football kick, forcing the burst. Now the Bulls have turn. The first one to gain access to at least half is going to be Fabs, and this is looking very good for them. But no, DP out of PataChu.
Close slash is going to hurt so much. As well as going for the RTL to get the ball break from near corner situation. Still, not the craziest life deficit, but this hard knockdown is going to be a little bit painful. Has a lot of meter to play with. But the positive meter buzz barely doesn't get the whip punish on the big drive. RC after the Elphelt. Ooh, just out of range from the overhead. It's quick whip punish. Opposite just deploy instead of push damage. Stagger pressure works out very nicely. We got the Goobers. Finally, strike throw being represented one more time. The mix-ups are coming out. Strike throw doesn't cancel it, but the OTG for the kill. And Fabs the 3-2 to move on forward to losers finals, eliminating PataChu.
What a final game we've seen. Those final moments, Fabs just locking it in. We are going to go for a strike throw situation. Nothing fancy, it's going to be pure mental. And at that point I think PataChu was too stacked. Dealing with all the minions. With all the...
A lot of the pressure that Fabs was setting up was constant left-right mix-ups, where if PataChu would want to try to get a DP going, right, he still has to risk the side of his input, so he may simply be getting tagged in situations where he would have hoped that Fabs would have been on either side, that he actually ends up inputting his DP, because all it took was one for him to completely run all that damage back and take the kill.
Damn, my internet doesn't want me today. Strange. No, I am not joking. Technically, I am hardwired through a PLC, and I am hearing you crackle from time to time. I think my image is not even going as grainy as the Sons of the Sahara. I enjoy my life from time to time. Okay. Also, PataChu, thanks for the raid. Sad that your tournament run ends there, but
I'm still very highly appreciated hopping on, especially after a weekend full of action to still just come in, salute.
We salute you.
Yep. But Fabs versus Son coming up next. Fabs, of course, I think taking a much-needed breather after possibly not the kind of win he was expecting to be having in this bracket, making it all the way into 3rd place as of now, and it can only go up from here. Gonna be facing off against Son, which, whew, yeah, I don't know. This is it's also gonna be one of those similar ones where it will depend entirely on how the sword shoot interacts with the goobers, which is yeah, that's basically about it. Like, they're gonna play a similar style to what we saw from PataChu's side, although from PataChu, right, we saw a bunch of 2S presses, but no real utilization of 5S because of how scary the situation was.
Yeah, I agree there. That's going to be... Yeah, though I know that for a fact, swords are probably too high level. They are going to destroy the minions. It's going to be more interesting with defense command. What happens if you try to go sword toss defense command? That's going to be nice to see. But give us a moment. Fab still needs to breathe a little bit. It's too much. Top 3 in a Salty. He's still a really good result, even though... Yeah, I know we know it's post-UFA Salty. It doesn't even matter. It's a Salty. We still have killers here. Wait, left the room. But either way. And also, while we are waiting, everybody, please remember, we do have those Macherino codes. Exclamation point Macherino on chat. 17 codes remaining. Out of the 90 people, please go claim them codes.
Shut up, Ace.
Oh yeah, you are the rookie here. Quote unquote.
Crazy rookie work. But yeah, as Lapsus was mentioning, let's hop in there. We're down to the twilight of the bracket. Let's get this codes claimed. Especially, come on, like, for Fabs, right? Let's get that money rolling for Fabs. All the hard work that he's putting up, making it an absolute wild card of a top 3 finish here. I think the only person we would usually expect to see around this point would be Son. And of course, Yoish, a very strong competitor, but Fabs, yeah, absolutely, you know, unforeseen energy.
To be fair, none of those 3 players were in my predictions while I was looking at, okay, top 8 is going to settle up like that. None were in the... Yeah, those are going to be a top 3. I am a very humble man. I am going to admit, I was expecting PataChu on Winners Final, Winners Side Grand Finals, and maybe Resil will do something. Shinky is always a menace. So I am very excited to see what's going to happen because it's a first for me. From all the years I've been doing Strive, it's one of the first time I've seen in this kind of tournaments lots of people that I still don't recognize in 3.
I think I add to the fact that, you know, next to some unfamiliar names, there's also rare Pepe characters. You know, we got 2 cryptid characters coming out here with, of course, Son putting a lot more awareness and attention towards Ramlethal with how good he's been performing on him. But Jacko, we don't see around these parts too often. So let alone like all the matchup considerations, I have never really been able to give it full proper thought. So it's also going to be very much a first for me to see how this all plays out.
It's been more like all the Jackos disappeared from Europe. What I mean that disappeared, that they are not entering tournaments right now. So I agree, it's interesting to see what is happening. Characters that we don't see much. So let's go one. Oh yeah, that chip. I would like to see that. Okay. And back to the gameplay, and we're seeing that Dream's advantage trying to pull Fab's out, and now Son just having Fab onto the corner.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, trying to look for that throw, but no chance at all. So far, Son's air approach has been taken, very patient and gradual air dashes, and we've seen a lot of priority being towards deploying the goobers on towards the ground, hoping to try and clash into some of the longer range normals from Ram, I believe. But look at this already, air to air, brings it back down. Almost baits out some response. In this case, the gold burst will be connecting, causing meter bonus is taking, but it's still Fabs that has Son locked into this corner. Strike throw is coming on. OTG damage, good blocks, but the clap delay into the Elysium driver shouldn't quite be a kill just yet. But again, Fabs proving that if he too can hang with the big guns, also drop out some very, very one-sided rounds.
Yeah. And now running up, grabbing that Morto Baton, and round start getting the knockdown. Full advantage right now, those momentums. We've seen it, a lot of heavy momentum-based matchups. This is going to be another one.
Just got that low profile there to work out, stuck to the corner. No projectiles left, locks out the old Rekka, but the PRC comes out. Another Rekka, both players trading, but again, Fabs finding the out there. Look at the throw, looking for some push blocking action, but the Shiesty is equipped onto the Goobers. This is a painful situation. Look at the tension just raining away from the side of Son. The burst is available. Good throw tech, but we're still not out of the woods just yet. If look at the air hit. Keeps the combo short, wants to watch out for the burst, but what a send! And just like that, it should be the first game going to Fabs.
Yeah, Chudi evading that rock. Getting that work from Fabs and based fighting game.
Stuff right here, so see if Fabs can maintain this momentum, or if Son is starting to connect the dots a little here to ask what he has to do to try and overcome. We saw a really good opening, right, where if he can make the right call on the type of deployments that Fabs is going to use with the Goobers, right, are we looking to cover the ground or the air more and come in on that direction and never let Fabs leave the corner? Really good shot at taking the ground.
That's the main part.
Yeah, that's the main part. The hard part is getting in.
I agree, the main part is trying to lock Fabs down, even though Son has a lot of tools to lock anybody. Those short tosses are diabolical indeed. Now against the wall, there is more to battle, minimum, get the damage, get the knockdown, but you get a reset for Fabs, which means that you can get some time to set up some minions, and minions are already set, and in a nasty way. There is the grab, we're going to see more set, Morto, battle block, and free damage for Fabs.
Fabs might have been able to push the damage a little further on the combo, but just keeps it nice and short to guarantee as much damage. And basically being at this health total really just invalidates any sort of burst usage. And just get the jump in, delays the throw a little bit. And we're securing a position here to extend the lead.
Both corner. Okay. Son say no. Okay, another grab. Good. That's a good position. Morto Bato. Lot. Some damage, not enough. Yeah, now it's enough.
Yeah, this is kind of what we're expecting to go between these two players. If Son does get in, right, rounds like that are ahead of us, but big sweep, back all the way to the corner. Strike throw successful. Unburstable damage is starting to add up here. Once again, the wall splat. Didn't have enough meter for the Elysium driver, so back to neutral for both of these players, narrowly avoiding each other's options. Which is backdashing away from the rock, trying to leverage life lead, but to run straight into one of the longer range normals. Burst straight away to deny any and all opportunities. Does find the burst back from Son, and that's a massive air-to-air, though. Look at the meter on the side for Fabs. Will he get a chance to play once more?
There's going to be a chance right now. Trying to go for Elysium Driver. That's going to hit around super. Elysium Driver takes a lot of damage. Just Roman it, confirm it.
Oh.
That's a kill. 2-0 for Fabs.
Oh my god. What a call out. What a call out. Because like anything else that like there's two things that Elysium Driver will catch there is the far slash attempt or if Son decides to like vault in or some kind of advancing option. We've seen many other tools used that doesn't cover that kind of distance that Son has represented on the round start situation, but there, that one time, damn Fabs. Oh, fatal error.
Fatal error.
Okay.
Okay.
That was funny on our side. Just
I mean,
it didn't
but-
show up on stream, which was really sad, but it just in full like pixelated view, it just said fatal error. Strife just crashed. So I guess it does shake up the situation a little bit for how the mentality plays out in this matchup, right? Because they were hopping straight back into it, but now there's a little bit of a breather due to technical issues. So Son can take a moment to reevaluate, and Fabs on the other side, maybe he appreciates it. On the other side, might feel a bit iced out. We'll see how the next game goes.
Yeah, that's a for everybody. You never want this to happen, so thank you, Axis, for making such a wonderful product. Game is kind of fine, the product around it, But yeah, apart from that, what I wanted to point out the fact that even if full tension gauge, cancel it if you are going to miss it, and from that you have a time stop situation. There's going to be a red there that just immediately can go back into offense. So I think Fabs had in my point of view, and I know it's already past that, it was a win-win situation that you are not losing. Okay, win, but no lose situation there.
Right. Right. So, just waiting on both players to return into the room, as they're going to play possibly the last match of the set, or Son has what he needs to make that comeback happen. Yoish is in the lobby, not just your turn yet. We're good to be prepared.
Mm-hmm. And what waiting for our players and all that jazz. Remember, we do have those exclamation point magic on the chat. 15 codes remaining if my browser is not wrong. Nope, it is correct. So 15 codes. Remember, this is loser finals. We have winners finals, and that's it. Maybe reset maximum 3 more whole games. Time is ticking. Go there, claim the code.
You're already giving them too many excuses to not claim close. Like, oh, there'll be another set. Oh, now, action now in this break before we hop right back into the action. That Fab's hype train is real. Can he do what needs to be done? Take it all the way into grand finals. And as we've seen before, right, it's going to be a pretty interesting grand finals with Yoish there. And Yoish on the Zato is a character we've seen Fabs take out in quite fashionable style.
Yeah, 3-0 over Shinki, and Shinki is one of the Zatos in Europe.
Exactly. But first things first, to get by the Son obstacle. Already 4 players. And the small hits out there, and it is Son that does have Fabs locked into the corner. This is a very dangerous position, as we've seen plenty of times. Son able to secure entire rounds off of just one solid interaction. Does have the burst, has been able to escape the corner. Uses a very aggressive momentum burst, knows that keeping Fabs here is the priority. Does find another lockdown, good blocks, and finds a reversal throw instead. Actually, another throw. It's a complete swap out. Tries to aggressively chase down PRC. With the respect shown by Fab. Patience. To wait it out. Tries to get the sweep going, but the sword catches it out.
Yeah. Sadly for Fabs, that was a very good attempt, but Son just managing to catch up to that. That 2D, a little bit too much aggressive there. With swords ready to go. Difficult to touch button now. Yeah, good blocks.
Nice conversion too.
Yeah. Putting Son onto the corner, that's what you want. Province trying to mix them up. Good defense. Getting chip by chip, and now the punish.
Could have been hopefully a little bit more, but nevertheless, right, maintaining position, understands that would be an air escape attempt there from Son between anti-airs and back into the corner. A lot of damage coming out, keeping the hits relatively short here. Good block and sweep punish, momentum burst. Let's keep it trapped in the corner. Tap just whiffs, does escape the corner. PRC, air throw, down to one throw or good hit. Versus available for Son, but this is something we're likely to see just hanging on as Fabs goes into that point.
That point indeed, but as you said, burst for Son, that's important. Big back, gets blocked, break on the grab, and big counter hit on the sword, forcing the burst for Son probably. And now, only one sword to contend, there is the second throw, but big hits. Mortorbato is also going to do a lot of...
Yeah, very tough situation here for Fabs to try and work now. Does have the 50, uses it to deflect shield, tries to fly in with a sweep, but the patience from the side of Son has so much life to play with. Knows does not need to be hasty at all. The Mortorbato not killing just yet, but down to one final hit to the PRC. Tries to get the throw before the sword connects. A very tricky situation, but a horizontal sword deploy. Why not? And Son is able to put one on the board.
At the end, patience is the thing that characterizes this game. Son was way more patient than on those first two, recognizing the moments that, yep, I just have to wait for the barrage to end, and now I have my moment. Now I can just you are, because we all, when Ram catches you, you're going to lose a good chunk.
I agree. There's definitely a lot more just blocking going on here by Son. Also, hard burst bait attempt there by Fabs. But block as you might, there's one thing you can't block, which is regular throws, and that is something that Fabs has been weaving in quite nicely in between his pressure. So Son does have to also take action at some point in these situations. Able to catch the backdash thanks to the PRC quick Uber deployment. We're in a very dire situation for Son. Doesn't have a whole lot of meter left to play with. Health is rather low too, so the burst isn't all too strong either. And the tap dust being connected puts Fabs back into set point situation. Really perfect.
Flip now. Good grab. The counter hit put Fabs onto the corner. Pressure is good, but more importantly, no more for bad, but that's bad. For free.
And this is already starting to look like a very tough one for Son. Does find the BRC entry there, looking to do what he can to secure this round without having to commit the burst. BRC off of the sword, YRC push blocks away. Poison Gruber down, making it very difficult to claim any sort of advantage here. It has a little bit of health left. The JS not connecting. Sword down, finds a low, explosion, doesn't connect, uses the hero burst. Jumps over the sword, the explosion catching on the tail end. Yes, a little too hasty there. And Son does succeed in bringing it to a final round situation here in game number 4 with the burst on deck.
And there is the your burst. Yeah, trying to lock down Fabs into the corner. Defense is not there, gets stuck, but too much spacing at the end. Those Fallen's defense working.
Yeah, tries to looking to get the little he's going here. Big tag, set up for the rock, but no conversion. Just to back away. No anti-air attempt there. Trying to set up, find a little bit of an opportunity to set up, but Fab is giving away way too much space to Son right now, and Son is taking all of it. Oh, wow, thanks. And the low there. Son bringing it down to a game 5 situation. Fabs has really strong moments of being fully in control, but especially in that last round, being way too apprehensive, looking for some kind of reactionary opportunity to beat out Son. And Son just slowly but surely walking forward, not committing too much, but all that still pushes Fabs closer and closer towards the corner where it becomes very deadly to try and play.
Certainly way more swingy than I was expecting this last game to go. And now Son, I think, is the one that gets all the momentum. Fabs a little bit more respectful in the worst way possible. As you said, Jacker, too much space given. That's the main part. Now, see Fabs a little bit that momentum, that aggressive Rush. Damage is good, minions are already there, and that's going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, Elysian Driver securing that wall break as well as the hard knockdown here after, but just look at the meter on the side of Son. Has to still be very careful. Uses just the knockdown to range deploy the Gruber, so has a very clean approach, but finds the anti-air. A little bit of an iffy combo, has the Wild Soul, but still on a pixel. It connects. Oh no, that is a tragedy. Almost pixel health. Just barely the reaching. And that is set point for Son now.
That shouldn't have worked, and we all know it.
Yeah, but it did. Might have just accidentally extended the hitbox a little too far forward there.
And now, good some misses the last hit matter. We have comes into the corner, stacked onto the wall. More Torbato, but still a good situation there.
There's still an opportunity though. But the clean away and just RC to guarantee the kill. Son makes the reverse sweep happen. And it's going to be cutting Fabs' dreams of glory short. Going off the face against Yoish in the rematch grand finals. Unfortunately, cutting the People's Champions journey short.
Such a shame. But life is life. And we are... But everybody please clap for Fabs. That was an beating the odds, but all of them and putting themselves top 3 of Salty. A clap for them.
Yeah, so hopefully we might be able to see more of them in the future. As we're going to hop into our final matchup for this evening, Yoish versus Son.
No respite, no break, just send it. First game in the 2-3 for Yoish. Let's see when this one.
Stuck in the corner for the time being, trying to fly away, but the air grab there from Son. I'm sure he can't just leave yet, and very much inspired by the play of Fab, leaving a lot of throws inside of his own pressure. Yoish losers versus Yoish winners side? Awesome. Stagger pressure, knockdown for the time being, invite hell, has no Eddie to continue, trying to push him in towards the corner with the rock deploying the air dash over, looking for yet another air throw, finds a counter half for 2S.
Good approach there, for a mortal battle, that's not that big. Burst is not yet available for without but that sword slashing through everything that Yoish was trying to do. There is the burst. No swords for Son, but depending on how it's not going to matter much.
Ooh, barely able to get one last tag, bless you, off of the Eddie there. Now has him trapped in the corner, looking for whatever opportunity to try and chicken block out and escape, but the PRC can't scratch us. Able to tag Yoish, to fly over, break it back to a mid-screen situation. What he can to avoid the sword almost, but it's not enough. Son claiming that first game in a long road of 6 wins to win this week's SaltyEU.
And as they say, every long walk starts with one step, so Son making that first step onto victory.
True. Shoutouts to Stephen King's The Long Walk coming in cinemas soon.
Go watch it, they say it's very good.
Yeah, it's interesting. Game number 2, big aerial opener. Able to connect the burst there, and now pushing all the way towards the corner. The Eddie would be trying to be deployed. The opposed eating up the rock there, and that's going to pump the burst from Son. However, Yoish not too keen about letting him escape, but does lose out in the neutral battle. The sword connecting him. His corner carrying, do what he can to push him all the way to the other side, and successfully does so.
Yoish could not fully convert there. There is the damage and not enough tension. That's not the knockdown that you want. Mortal Battle is going to punish. That's going to probably. That doesn't have a very much life.
I'm surprised to see the burst come out there from Yoish. It might have been a little bit of an emotional side because that low of HP, I mean, I guess if you do burst and win that interaction and take the round, right, you do have a round buffer to recover your burst thereafter, but might as well just take it into the next one. Nevertheless, Yoish, after a great start here with the pressure, does let Son try to skip the corner. A little bit of a weird interaction, was hoping to try and fall with Son's back towards the corner, but it doesn't end that way, and Son immediately capitalizing on that situation. Has him locked in. It's a nice hit off of the Rekka strings. As barely whiffing and just backing away, waiting for the swords to recover.
Yeah, waiting for them. Ooh! Okay, the other approach. Catch! More the sunset? Is good with that. Yeah, he's doing a little bit of a combo. Yellow! Ooh! With that side trap, and the second yellow gets blocked. And tuning for Son. Jacker, I am dreading to say it, but we are looking for a reset right.
Might be looking at a reset indeed. Something in that comeback against Fabs has awoken in Son, and now he's taking it all against taking out all against Yoish here. One game away from the reset. Can Yoish make any sort of final stand here? At the same time, you might also consider it that Yoish may be just holding it back a little bit, gathering some data, because the ball out right now, play as hard as you can, and still for it to go to reset, you have another setup ahead of you. Might be an energy conservation angle.
Maybe, but I think it's conservation. 80% you're working load closer to 50. So I will recommend just serving and start going hard. And they am looking at good hits, and yeah, this Among Us is going to be more than.
Yeah, there we go. The Yoish that we have grown accustomed. The Yoish that we saw send Son down. Starting to make his appearance here a little bit. Has Son locked into the corner. The command grabs are starting to come out in force now. Avoid the Eddie. Pressure running. Empty jump low. Making it very... I would almost say poor Son with the matchups that he's been facing, but it's also the same kind of playbook that he has, where he wants to set up a disjointed piece of pressure where he can then high-low you off of it. In this case, Yoish, understanding the assignment, sends out the Sun Void, finds a hard knockdown, deploys the Eddie. We're down to the final guess situation here. Oof.
Perfect. Ooh. Yeah. Make it and Yoish on the board this first game. At least we can say that Yoish doesn't want to go without swinging. Without swings. Close enough.
Close enough. Here is game number 4. Yoish takes the skies, but a little too slow there. So gets the 6P. However, burst does put him in a pretty good spot here. Air to air. Keeps Son locked to the corner, catches the backdash. Not able to convert too much without Eddie for now, but able to find these stray hits that builds him enough time to get Eddie back on the field. Finds an opening. The burst is deployed just in time before Eddie was able to be hit by it. And just look at all this damage. The final hit, Yoish on a tear.
Internet. I am more or less back, but yeah, what the right now? To finish there, don't say no. Go to a corner. There is the hit. That's much more to the battle. Not enough to kill, but still good damage.
Backdash BRC. It's a really crazy opening. Blocks out the wire C attempt, and now has to be careful. Needs to watch out for Son's burst, but at the same time, this is something Son would like to very much hang on to in a potential final round situation. Does anti-air it, and yeah, disjointed pressure from Eddie puts Yoish in a very safe spot to burst it, to bait the burst, and it's going to be tied up 2-2. Yoish 1 game away from securing the win of this week's SaltyEU Strive bracket.
What a combat would have been, because we've seen Son pushing the pain all the time, not letting Yoish play, and now the moment that Yoish manages to take and go the whole arm This is going to be a match to see, because if we go to the reset, I am going to assess a very different set. I think Son better to kill Eddie, but that's not good enough. Manages to correctly guess the break the low, but that's part 1 of 2. Where's the full damage? It's not just aggressively pushing Son onto the corner. Samboy resetting Eddie, getting the confirm on the air. There is the burst.
Out. It's a bit of a life lead here. Does get scooped up by Son, slowly being pushed towards the corner. We will be seeing those mix-ups shortly, but takes the disguise, just wants to narrowly avoid. Still, you see Son repositioning to try and meet him there. Catches an RC startup from Son, an attempt there to possibly use the BRC forward, but stuck in the corner. Makes a little oopsie. Does run up, call out the backdash attempt, and gets the throw back into the corner. And with that, Yoish is on tournament point against Son.
Tournament point indeed, and Son will try to do as much as he can to just break it, but Yoish gets the mix up. Starts setting on some damage already. He's at advantage on life. Half-life for Son. Yoish almost full. There is not a confirm. There's just 3 hits, and now we have a confirm there against the wall. No Among Us, no Samboy, just raw damage, and Son is looking back.
We can see Yoish do a little bit of an air stall actually to try and regenerate the Eddie gauge, but that does make him susceptible to an advance from Son, and we do see it paying off quite nicely. Mortabato able to get the wall break and the hard knockdown. YRC to create a little bit of space, send out the oppose, but still Eddie being deployed. Oh no! What an unfortunate burst. It'll be quite a bit of damage, and I think that should be the kill here. No, one more interaction. YRC baited out again, but not punished. Oh dear.
Okay, the air grab. That was a little bit sketchy, but Joker, we have our final game of this double Luigi situation. We do have. Oh.
Yes, threatening the tournament win or the reset. Son starts it off with an air throw. Push him into the corner, gets the disjointed explosion. Look at the jump out. Yoish doing what he can to find an opening, spending a lot of bar trying to get push blocks working, but it's not really leading to a whole lot. There's going to be the wall break, and the health deficit is enormous, though. Doing some good pressure. Son might. Yes, that is damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of burst. Son will be bringing it to a reset situation, so both players are once again back to their 0 wins and have to make another 3 happen in order to secure this week's Salty tournament win.
Now onto the reset. He's trying to get the first game already, forcing a burst out of Son and
A little bit like a choppy super coming out there, but still Yoish off to a great start here. Has Son locked into the corner, finds a low, and just like that, a lot of perfects from both of these players. Just goes to show how strong the momentum is and how little either character can really do into each other's pressure and damage.
I can see my match. The internet is working very bad against me right now, but for what I can see now, nah.
Big opener, gets another wall break thanks to the Mortabato. Both players relatively close health totals, but that throw is going to solidify the health lead. Gets the backdash on the Oki attempt, gets him into the corner. YRC breaks away, tries to get the rock to push him back in, but takes the disguise, narrowly avoiding, but wins out the small trade. Yoish sees a good situation here to try and burst for the game win, but dancing around the normals, Son is able to tag him with a far slash, bringing it down to a round apiece with the burst still to his name.
Decent situation for Son there.
Nice good leapfrog connection. undeployed just to generate some more Eddie gauge back. BRC takes... Wow, he blew up. Another opening. First coming out there. Eddie is dead for the time being. Cat scratches. Gets a little extra damage. Catches the backdash, but not the conversion to go with that afterward. Just trying to pressure, run up throw before the explosion connects. And just like that, the fadeaway has enough damage. Son taking that first game in the reset.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to let Ice go for it. It's
All right.
getting... No, I mean, it's getting very strange. There are moments that I can barely hear you cracking. It's not worth it. I sadly am going to need to step down.
Alright, well then, you know, we'll do the final part. It's gonna be fun. What's good? I can't believe it.
Oh, what a way to start it off. Already baiting out the burst, getting a suitable amount of life lead here. Not enough meter for the hard... Oh,
What? What an anti run. I'm just gonna put out my huge butt and just knock you out. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It would be nice if you end up falling into here. That would be real swell. Double scratches here, just pushing it towards the corner of the explosion. Narrowly avoiding it, but can't quite escape the grasp of Son. Gets a few hits in here, and that should be another wall splat. Mortal Bottle, look at the momentum on Son.
Forward here. Again, it's just Son. Damage on the board. Yoish with that back throw. I can get something started. We'll get something started. Very nice.
Ooh, BRC not really working out there. Clash, but second hit to follow up afterwards. BRC forward, finds a low. Has enough time. Looking to bait the burst there, but Yoish very greedily hangs onto it in the bet. I mean, the gamble works out very nicely, but not into that far slash. And Son taking and extending the lead, making it 2-0 right now.
Yeah, 2-0. It's starting to look kind of sketchy if you Yoish right, but there's still always a chance here. Very, very interesting. Oh. Well, I'm trying to get that W. Gonna happen or not. Yeah. Not for sure.
Well, we've seen Yoish make the comeback before, just coming shy of realizing that tournament win. Can he pull off the same again, or has Son simply gathered too much information? You know, download complete here. There is no other option available to you. This is an inevitable conclusion.
See. Bit of time right to get ready and
Alright, there it is. Potentially final game. Solid start already for Yoish. Finds up another empty low. Oh, that's a burst. Oh no, wait, that's simply a whiff. I thought... no, of course you couldn't burst against the wall splat. Yeah, that's a burst. My fault. Of course you can't burst against the wall splat.
you think this is a burst? That's a burst. But Boy's gonna take it in round 1.
Nice opening. Deploys Eddie behind. Finds yet another empty low. Not able to get the full conversion. Nevertheless, Son going for the burst. Wants a little bit of breathing room to try and play out here. But Yoish, feeling the fire under his ass, is now starting to turn up the heat. Has him locked into the corner. Eddie is undeployed for the time being. Jumps away from the rock. Flashes. Gets the throw. Brings back Eddie.
Get that throw right. Gonna get finally one game on the board here, and yeah, all right. Gonna try and bring it back again, and this time, of course, maybe with a slightly better ending. Zato enjoyer. It's been a long time since we had a Zato win, SaltyEU, so quite interesting.
I'd imagine that was a fairly regular occurrence in the early portion of the game's life cycle.
Yeah, we had. There's always been like, you know, these Zato players in the region. So happy to see we finally have another one. But let's go after. Very nice. Calling out that fly. Jump in. Air there coming out from Yoish. Sending out Eddie as well, right, to get that pressure.
And the air-to-airs from Yoish have been working out rather nicely, especially getting those tags. Push Son into the corner, under a little bit of pressure, trying to deploy the Eddie, backdashing away. Oppose into the leapfrog. Son void. That wall break. Hard knockdown, and Eddie at full gauge to play with. Just like that it ends.
After we're gonna connect.
Away after realizing the opposer was on the field, the explosion. Trying to get away, but a reversal attempt being beaten out by the Wrecker strings here, though. We see Yoish for anything to try and find an opening, gets an overhead to connect. Can he find the kill? Is the meter being built up just enough? PRC and the 5P to finish it and push it as far as he could. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and now just one round away here from tying everything up. Interesting. Get thrown though. Son, you know, could end it right here, right now. Just needs these 2 rounds.
Looking very mighty scary. Backing away. Possibly looking to try and bait out a burst. Both players trading, but it is constantly trading, but Yoish is on the losing end of this, right? The amount of health that's on the side of Son means he wins this race inevitably, but closes it out off the mix-up. Son back on that set point. Both players with their burst available. You see Air Throw's attempt to try and bring Yoish back down to the ground, but it's not enough. It is being escorted towards the corner. Leapfrog denying the jump away, but the trade is going to delete both Eddie and give him a little bit of space to work with, but throw him back into the corner. We are not done yet.
No, that crust up. No way. All right. Yoish spending that burst. Good anti-air from Son. Full up intention for that mortal battle. Hard knockdown is looking rough here for Yoish. Okay, Son gets out.
Oh, barely able to tackle low there. Trying to drive Son all the way to the corner, but finds the air-to-air, brings it to the ground as a conversion, has a lot of meter to play with. Burst available, PRC gets an empty low and could have blocked it, but didn't. And Son is going to close it out 3-1 in the reset against Yoish.
All right. It's going to be it. Germany, Vietnam, gonna take that W over Switzerland. Showing, you know, who's the big brother, so to say, in the Dach scene.
Early.
There we go. We're gonna, you know, have some discourse in here, right? It's very
True. Get the chat interaction rolling. Let's go.
Yeah. Good shit, good shit. So, of course, good stuff, everyone, right? Very fun edition today. I feel like, you know, very, a lot of kind of results where we're like, huh? That's nice sometimes. New patch, playing some tricks.
Yeah, absolutely. The post major Salty is always a wild card where you get to see some unlikely faces make a very deep run. You can see some very interesting Shrive gameplay outside of the usual suspects that are taking a small breather from a weekend of heavy action.
Yeah. All right. That being said, do you have anything you want to say before we hop off? Also, shouts again to Lapsus, of course, for staying on. Too bad that he turned into a clanger. Just, you know, sometimes that happens.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you still have the graphic, but on October.
Maybe.
Let me see. Yeah, I have to remember the date as well off the top of my head. October 17th. We're doing hey, well, that's a lot of pictures. On October 17th, we're doing a team battle over on the Zero Fundies Twitch channel, where we will have 2 teams of 10, each captained by a known Dutch player. There we go, Chloe, formerly known as Decoy Snail, and Pieta, each captaining a team of 10, which includes a wide variety of different skills of players, right? So they're also spending a lot of time teaching them and training them up, getting them ready for this battle. So tune in if you want to see some interesting action go down. It's always fun. And while you're at it, you know, just give some of these new beginner players some advice. If they happen to be on your character and you see some things, you know, I think that will go much appreciated. Both these captains are doing their best with the information at their disposal to try and teach them outside of their known character choices. Other than that, Zero Fundamentals, end of the week, end of the month, and other than that, I have no other events I'm going to, so I'm just chilling.
Jeez, this guy's not going to EVO from.
Nah. No Blaze Blue, no Xrd. I sleep.
I wonder if we do know all the side events for France already. I feel like this, it's just like
I heard
freaking, it's just
the-
like old Street Fighter games. Like, man.
I heard from the grapevine there's like a BYOC type setup, but
Yeah.
it's moving all very slowly.
Mm.
So I think it's mainly because like I think it's once again Reversal in charge of it, or at least like Damascus has heavy influence.
Yep.
And a lot of their attention, of course, went to making a very, very stellar UFA happen. So I think now they're going to go full focus on EVO France, where they'll sort out what exactly is happening there besides the prior announced main games.
Do you think they're gonna fly out commentators for Street Fighter this time? Or do you think it's gonna be online again?
That's listen. I know, or no, not that I know. I feel like their hands were tied in that situation. They just got the email from Capcom being like, "Don't
Oh
bother."
yeah. It's
we're
definitely not an
remote casting this.
UFA issue. It's like a Capcom thing for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was bizarre, and like the sad fact is like you got Yipes on the venue, right? Who
Yeah.
doesn't get to do it because they're remote casting it.
Yeah.
So it's all good. They got it for Marvel vs. Capcom 3 actually.
It is so weird. Right. We are gonna go to a bit of a different game because there's none of the EU homies streaming anymore. Strive, so we're gonna go to something that's called Becken. Becken 8, I believe. Oh wait, actually, is somebody maybe streaming XKO?
Yeah,
There's
plenty of
gonna be
people
so many streams though. There's nobody.
Yo, you know
on
what? You know
my phone.
what? Go hop, give Tales of Mr. Give him the
Yo,
the
Tales of Mystery stream.
yeah. You're seeing some Tuco right now.
Tales of Mystery is I remember DNF Duel Legend did really well like week 1 of DNF Duel.
Yeah, I mean he's overall a really strong player. Is already doing really well in 2XKO. Big enjoyer of team battles. Also holding it down pretty hard in the UK scene on the England side, right? Like him and the production team of what were they called again? Oh god.
It actually is interesting though. From what I heard, there was a lot of funny comparisons, but I think a lot of people are seriously saying that it's like DNF Duel to XKO. It's like DNF Duel, especially the way combos work, but with like tag elements.
I suppose. I haven't played it enough, so I wouldn't know. But seeing Lazarus do really well, I could see the comparison.
It's what I heard from people who were really good at DNF Duel. They're like, yeah, this is really like DNF Duel.
Okay, fair.
Interesting. But yep, that's gonna be it for today. Have a good one. Peace out.
Peace.